Across the world, strange artifacts defy explanation, emerging like echoes from a lost age. Mysteries so puzzling, they haunt scientists and historians alike. From monumental structures whose builders vanished without trace, to cryptic writings no one can decode, each discovery shatters what we thought we knew. These enigmas challenge our very understanding of humanity's past, pushing science to its limits. Yet, despite our best efforts, the past remains stubbornly silent, daring us to unravel its truth. What if these riddles aren't merely lost knowledge, but warnings from history itself? The Great Pyramid of Giza continues to baffle researchers and historians, sparking numerous debates about its construction methods. Built over 4,500 years ago, this colossal structure stands as a testament to the ingenuity of ancient Egyptians. However, the exact techniques used to erect this massive monument remain elusive. One of the primary mysteries revolves around how the ancient builders transported and lifted the enormous limestone blocks, some weighing up to 80 tons. Theories range from the use of sophisticated ramps and levers to more speculative ideas involving lost technologies. The precision with which these blocks were cut and fitted together, with gaps often less than a millimeter wide, adds another layer of intrigue to the construction process. The internal structure of the pyramid poses additional questions. The intricate system of chambers, corridors, and shafts seems to defy the technological capabilities of the time. Particularly puzzling are the narrow shafts that extend from the king's chamber to the exterior of the pyramid, whose purpose remains a subject of ongoing debate among Egyptologists. Perhaps most perplexing is how the ancient Egyptians achieved such remarkable accuracy in the pyramid's alignment and dimensions. The structure is aligned to true north with an error of less than 1/10 of a degree, a feat that would be challenging even with modern surveying equipment. These enduring mysteries continue to fuel scientific inquiry and capture the imagination of people worldwide, making the Great Pyramid an enduring symbol of ancient wisdom and engineering prowess. The ancient Egyptians displayed remarkable skill in aligning their pyramids with astonishing accuracy. Their methods, while seemingly simple, were incredibly effective. They relied heavily on astronomical observations, particularly the movements of specific stars. One key technique involved using the stars of Ursa Major, also known as the Big Dipper. By observing the position of these stars relative to the horizon, Egyptian architects could determine true north with impressive precision. They would stretch a rope between two poles and align it with the stars, creating a north-south axis for the pyramid base. The Egyptians also employed sophisticated surveying tools. They used a tool called a plumb bob, essentially a weight suspended on a string, to ensure vertical alignment. For horizontal leveling, they created water-filled trenches around the pyramid base, using the water surface as a reference point. These methods, combined with their deep understanding of geometry, allowed them to achieve near-perfect right angles and smooth, sloping sides. Their expertise extended beyond just alignment. The ancient Egyptians demonstrated incredible engineering prowess in transporting and stacking massive limestone blocks, some weighing more than 2 tons, with minimal gaps between them. This level of precision in both alignment and construction continues to amaze modern engineers and archaeologists, showcasing the ingenuity of this ancient civilization. The Nazca lines in Peru have long puzzled archaeologists and researchers. These enormous geoglyphs etched into the desert floor depict various shapes, including animals, plants, and geometric patterns. Created by the ancient Nazca culture between 500 BCE and 500 CE, these lines stretch across nearly 1,000 square kilometers of the arid Peruvian coastal plain. While their exact purpose remains a subject of debate, several theories have gained traction among scholars. One prominent idea suggests that the lines served a ritual function, possibly related to water and fertility. The Nazca region is extremely dry, and water was a precious resource. Some researchers believe the lines may have been used in ceremonies to pray for rain or to honor water-related deities. Another theory proposes that the Nazca lines had astronomical significance. Some of the lines appear to align with celestial bodies, leading to speculation that they may have been used as a giant calendar or for tracking seasonal changes. This could have been crucial for agricultural planning in the harsh desert environment. Some experts argue that the lines might have been used as pathways for pilgrimage or ritual processions. The sheer scale of the designs, only fully visible from the air, has led to various alternative theories as well, including the notion that they were created as messages to the gods. However, most scholars agree that the lines likely served multiple purposes within the complex cultural and religious systems of the Nazca people, rather than having a single, definitive function. The construction techniques used at Pumapunku in Bolivia continue to baffle archaeologists and engineers. This ancient site, part of the larger Tiwanaku complex, features massive stone blocks cut with remarkable precision. Some of these blocks weigh over 100 tons and were transported from quarries located miles away. The level of precision in the stonework is extraordinary, with blocks fitting together so tightly that even a razor blade cannot be inserted between them. This has led to much speculation about the tools and methods used by the ancient builders. While some have proposed advanced technologies or even extraterrestrial intervention, most experts believe the work was accomplished using sophisticated stoneworking techniques that have since been lost to time. The transportation of these enormous blocks remains another mystery. The site sits at an elevation of over 12,000 feet, making the movement of such heavy stones even more challenging. Theories range from the use of log rollers and sleds to ingenious systems of ramps and levers. Some researchers suggest that the stones might have been transported when the lake levels were higher, allowing the use of reed boats to float the massive blocks closer to the construction site. Despite ongoing research, the exact methods used to cut and transport the stones of Pumapunku remain uncertain. This enduring mystery continues to captivate archaeologists and enthusiasts alike, serving as a testament to the ingenuity and skill of ancient civilizations. The underground city of Derinkuyu in Turkey stands as a testament to human ingenuity and the lengths people will go to protect themselves. Located in the Cappadocia region, this subterranean marvel extends to depths of 250 feet, with 18 levels carved into the soft volcanic rock. Derinkuyu is believed to have been constructed during the Byzantine era, around the 7th or 8th century. Its primary purpose was to serve as a refuge for thousands of people during times of invasion or religious persecution. The city could accommodate up to 20,000 inhabitants, complete with living quarters, storage rooms, wells, and ventilation shafts. What makes Derinkuyu truly remarkable is its sophisticated design. The city featured complex security systems, including massive stone doors that could be sealed from the inside, effectively blocking access to lower levels. Narrow passageways were designed to force any invaders to move in single file, making them easy targets for defenders. Beyond its defensive capabilities, Derinkuyu boasted amenities that allowed for extended stays underground. Wine and oil presses, stables, cellars, and even churches were found within its depths. This self-sufficiency ensured that residents could survive for months without needing to surface, providing a safe haven during turbulent times in history. The Olmec civilization, which flourished in ancient Mesoamerica from about 1,500 to 400 BCE, created remarkable colossal stone heads that continue to intrigue archaeologists and historians. These massive sculptures, some weighing up to 40 tons and standing nearly 3 meters tall, were carved from basalt boulders quarried in the Tuxtla Mountains. Transporting these enormous stones was an impressive feat of engineering. The Olmecs likely used a combination of log rollers, sleds, and ropes to move the boulders over land. For water transport, they constructed large rafts made from balsa wood and used the region's extensive river systems. This journey could have taken months, requiring the coordinated effort of hundreds of workers. Once at their final destination, the Olmecs employed stone tools to carve the heads. They used harder stones like flint and obsidian to chip away at the softer basalt, gradually shaping the distinctive features of these monumental portraits. The carving process was likely a communal effort, involving skilled artisans who worked for months or even years to complete a single head. The level of detail achieved in these sculptures is remarkable, considering the limited tools available. The Olmecs managed to create lifelike representations with individualized features, suggesting these heads might have depicted specific rulers or important figures in Olmec society. This achievement speaks to the advanced artistic and technological capabilities of this early Mesoamerican civilization. The colossal stone statues on Easter Island, known as moai, have puzzled researchers for centuries. These enigmatic figures, carved by the Rapa Nui people between the years 800 and 1600, serve as silent sentinels of a lost civilization. While their exact purpose remains debated, archaeological evidence suggests they were created to honor ancestral chiefs and other important lineage figures. These massive statues, some standing up to 30 feet tall and weighing as much as 86 tons, were believed to embody the spirit of prominent ancestors, chiefs, or other revered elites of the Rapa Nui. The moai faced inland, watching over their descendants and imparting their mana or spiritual power to the living population. This practice reflects the strong connection between the Rapa Nui people and their ancestors, as well as their belief in the continuity between the world of the living and the realm of the dead. Recent studies have also proposed that the statues may have played a role in demonstrating territorial ownership and resource rights among competing clans on the island. The distribution of the moai across the landscape could have served as markers of clan territories and important resources such as freshwater sources. This theory suggests that the statues had both spiritual and practical significance in Rapa Nui society. The creation and transportation of these monumental statues also highlight the sophisticated engineering and organizational skills of the ancient Rapa Nui. The process of carving, moving, and erecting the moai required extensive labor and coordination, indicating a complex social structure and a strong motivation driving their creation. The enduring mystery of the Easter Island statues continues to captivate researchers and visitors alike, serving as a testament to the ingenuity and cultural richness of this remote Polynesian civilization. The ancient Maya developed their remarkable astronomical knowledge through centuries of meticulous observation and record-keeping. Their understanding of celestial bodies and their movements was deeply intertwined with their religious beliefs and daily lives. Maya astronomers used sophisticated tools and structures to track the movements of stars, planets, and other celestial objects. They constructed observatories and aligned their buildings with specific astronomical events. The El Caracol structure at Chichen Itza, for example, was designed with windows that aligned with the movements of Venus. The Maya created complex calendar systems based on their astronomical observations. Their long count calendar, which spanned thousands of years, demonstrated their ability to track long periods and predict celestial events far into the future. They accurately calculated the length of the solar year to be 365¼ days, very close to our modern calculations. Their astronomical knowledge also extended to predicting eclipses and tracking the movements of planets. The Dresden Codex, one of the few surviving Maya books, contains detailed tables for predicting solar and lunar eclipses, as well as the movements of Venus. This level of precision in their calculations showcases the depth of their astronomical understanding and their dedication to observing the night sky over generations. The remarkable stonework of Machu Picchu, the ancient Incan citadel high in the Peruvian Andes, has long fascinated archaeologists and visitors alike. The secret behind its near-perfect construction lies in a combination of advanced engineering techniques and meticulous craftsmanship. The Inca were master stonemasons who developed a technique called ashlar masonry. This method involves cutting large stones so precisely that they fit together without the need for mortar. The stones were shaped using bronze chisels and hammers, then ground and polished with sand to create a smooth, tight fit. One key to the durability of Machu Picchu's structures is the use of interlocking stones. One key to the durability of Machu Picchu's structures is the use of interlocking stones. Many blocks were cut with protruding knobs and corresponding indentations, allowing them to interlock like puzzle pieces. This technique, combined with the weight of the stones, created structures highly resistant to earthquakes common in the region. The Inca also employed sophisticated surveying and planning methods. They likely used tools such as plumb bobs and levels to ensure precise alignment and incorporated slight inward tilts to walls for improved stability. These techniques, refined over generations, resulted in the awe-inspiring stonework that continues to impress us today at Machu Picchu. The ancient Polynesians were master navigators who crossed thousands of miles of open ocean using a sophisticated set of techniques passed down through generations. Their primary method was celestial navigation, relying on the positions of stars, the sun, and the moon to determine direction and latitude. They memorized the rising and setting points of key stars throughout the year, creating a mental star compass that guided their voyages. These skilled seafarers also read the ocean itself, interpreting wave patterns, currents, and swells to gauge their position and the presence of nearby land. They observed seabirds, noting their flight patterns and behavior as indicators of nearby islands. Cloud formations over distant land masses provided additional clues to their location. Polynesian navigators also utilized their deep understanding of marine life and weather patterns. They recognized subtle changes in water temperature, watched for specific species of fish, and tracked seasonal winds to aid their journeys. This holistic approach to navigation allowed them to undertake long voyages with remarkable accuracy. Perhaps most impressively, Polynesian wayfinders developed the ability to sense islands beyond the horizon through a technique called wave piloting. By feeling the reflections and refractions of ocean swells as they interacted with distant land masses, these navigators could detect islands from up to 30 miles away. This combination of skills and knowledge enabled the Polynesians to explore and settle vast areas of the Pacific Ocean long before the advent of modern navigation tools. Despite centuries of fascination, there is no concrete scientific evidence supporting the existence of Atlantis as described in ancient texts. The story of Atlantis originates from the writings of the Greek philosopher Plato, who described it as a powerful and advanced island nation that sank into the sea. However, many scholars believe Plato's account was allegorical rather than historical. Numerous expeditions and archaeological investigations have searched for Atlantis, but none have produced definitive proof of its existence. Some researchers have proposed various real-world locations as potential sites for Atlantis, including the Mediterranean island of Santorini, which suffered a catastrophic volcanic eruption around 1500 BCE. Others have suggested locations ranging from the Atlantic Ocean to the Black Sea. While these theories are intriguing, they lack the archaeological evidence needed to confirm the existence of a civilization matching Plato's description. Underwater archaeology has advanced significantly in recent years, allowing for more thorough exploration of submerged sites. However, these efforts have not uncovered any ruins or artifacts that can be conclusively linked to the legendary lost city. The search for Atlantis continues to capture the public imagination and drive scientific inquiry into ancient civilizations and geological events. While the city itself may be mythical, the quest for Atlantis has contributed to our understanding of prehistoric cultures and the dynamic nature of Earth's geography over time. The legendary city of El Dorado has captivated explorers and treasure hunters for centuries, but its exact location remains a mystery. Contrary to popular belief, El Dorado was not a city, but a mythical golden king of the Muisca people in what is now Colombia. The legend began when Spanish conquistadors heard tales of a tribal chief covered in gold dust who would make offerings to the gods by throwing golden objects into Lake Guatavita. Over time, the story of the Golden King transformed into tales of a golden city hidden deep in the jungles of South America. This shift led to numerous expeditions throughout the continent, particularly in the Amazon rainforest and the Andes Mountains. Explorers searched in vain across vast areas of Colombia, Venezuela, Brazil, and Peru, hoping to find the fabled city of gold. Despite centuries of searching, no evidence of a golden city has ever been found. However, the legend of El Dorado did lead to significant geographical discoveries and the mapping of previously unknown regions of South America. Today, historians and archaeologists understand El Dorado as a cultural myth rather than a physical place. The enduring allure of El Dorado serves as a reminder of the human fascination with wealth and the unknown. It continues to inspire books, films, and even modern treasure hunts, demonstrating the powerful grip that legends can have on our collective imagination. The disappearance of the Roanoke colony remains one of America's most enduring mysteries. In 1587, a group of English settlers established a colony on Roanoke Island, off the coast of what is now North Carolina. When supply ships returned 3 years later, they found the settlement completely abandoned, with no trace of the colonists. The only clue left behind was the word Croatoan, carved into a fence post. This has led to numerous theories about the fate of the colonists. Some historians believe they may have been absorbed into nearby Native American tribes, possibly the Croatoan people on Hatteras Island. Others suggest that disease, famine, or conflict with indigenous populations could have led to their demise. Recent archaeological evidence has provided some new insights. Excavations have uncovered European artifacts scattered across a wide area, suggesting that the colonists might have split up and integrated with different Native American communities. However, no definitive proof of their fate has been found. The Roanoke mystery continues to fascinate researchers and the public alike, serving as a reminder of the challenges faced by early European settlers in North America and the complex relationships between colonists and indigenous peoples. As we uncover more evidence, we may one day solve this centuries-old puzzle. The collapse of the Maya civilization was not a sudden event, but rather a gradual process that unfolded over several centuries. This complex society, which flourished in Mesoamerica for over 2,000 years, began to decline around 800 CE and had largely disintegrated by 1100 CE. Multiple factors contributed to the Maya downfall. One significant issue was environmental stress. The Maya had extensively modified their landscape through deforestation and intensive agriculture to support their growing population. This led to soil erosion, decreased agricultural productivity, and potential changes in local climate patterns. Another crucial factor was political instability. As resources became scarcer, competition between city-states intensified. This resulted in increased warfare, disrupting trade networks and further straining resources. The breakdown of political systems likely contributed to the abandonment of many major urban centers. Climate change also played a role in the Maya collapse. Evidence suggests that the region experienced a series of severe droughts during this period. These dry spells would have exacerbated existing environmental problems, potentially leading to crop failures, famine, and social unrest. The combination of these factors ultimately led to the decline of this once thriving civilization, demonstrating the complex interplay between environmental, social, and political forces in shaping human history. Beneath the crystal-clear waters off the coast of southern Greece lies Pavlopetri, an ancient city frozen in time. This submerged settlement, dating back over 5,000 years, offers a unique window into the daily lives of our Bronze Age ancestors. Unlike many archaeological sites that have been disturbed over millennia, Pavlopetri's underwater location has preserved it in remarkable detail. The city's layout reveals a sophisticated urban plan, with streets, buildings, and courtyards clearly visible on the seabed. Archaeologists have identified homes, temples, and even a complex drainage system, suggesting a level of engineering prowess previously unknown for this period. The discovery of numerous storage jars and other artifacts indicates that Pavlopetri was likely a thriving trade hub, connecting the Greek mainland with other Mediterranean civilizations. One of the most intriguing aspects of Pavlopetri is the light it sheds on ancient burial practices. Underwater surveys have revealed numerous graves, some containing the remains of entire families. These findings provide valuable insights into the social structures and belief systems of this early Bronze Age society. The secrets of Pavlopetri continue to emerge as new technologies allow for more detailed underwater exploration. By studying this sunken city, researchers are piecing together a vivid picture of life in one of the world's oldest urban centers, challenging our understanding of early civilization and maritime culture in the Mediterranean. The location of Genghis Khan's tomb remains one of history's greatest mysteries. Despite numerous expeditions and archaeological efforts, the final resting place of the Mongol Empire's founder has never been discovered. This enduring enigma has captivated researchers and adventurers for centuries. According to historical accounts, Genghis Khan's burial was conducted in absolute secrecy. It is said that his funeral procession killed anyone they encountered to ensure the tomb's location remained hidden. Some sources suggest the soldiers who buried him were themselves executed upon their return. Various theories exist about the possible location of the tomb. Some believe it might be in the Khenti Mountains of Mongolia, while others speculate it could be near the Burkhan Khaldun mountain, a sacred site in Mongolian culture. There are even suggestions that the burial site might be submerged beneath a diverted river. The search for Genghis Khan's tomb continues to this day, with modern technology like satellite imagery and ground-penetrating radar being employed. However, many Mongolians believe the tomb should remain undisturbed, viewing it as a sacred site and an important part of their cultural heritage. The Copper Scroll, discovered in 1952 among the Dead Sea Scrolls, has long captivated archaeologists and treasure hunters alike. Unlike its parchment counterparts, this unique artifact was etched on thin sheets of copper, hinting at the importance of its contents. The scroll describes vast quantities of gold, silver, and precious items, allegedly hidden in 64 locations throughout ancient Israel. These treasures, if they exist, could be remnants of the Second Temple in Jerusalem, secreted away before its destruction by the Romans in 70 CE. The scroll mentions astronomical amounts of wealth, including over 4,000 talents of gold and silver. To put this in perspective, a single talent in ancient times was roughly equivalent to the lifetime earnings of a skilled laborer. However, the true nature of these treasures remains a mystery. Some scholars argue that the Copper Scroll is merely a work of fiction or a symbolic text. Others believe it could be an inventory of temple wealth or even a blueprint for future rebuilding. The precise locations mentioned in the scroll are cryptic, using landmarks and measurements that are difficult to interpret in the modern landscape. Despite numerous expeditions and searches, none of the treasures described in the Copper Scroll have been definitively found. This enduring enigma continues to fuel speculation and archaeological interest, leaving us to wonder whether immense riches still lie hidden beneath the sands of Israel, waiting to be uncovered. The fate of the 9th Roman Legion, known as Legio Nam Hispana, remains one of history's enduring mysteries. This legendary unit, once stationed in Britain during the Roman occupation, seemingly vanished from historical records around the early 2nd century CE. Various theories attempt to explain the legion's disappearance. Some historians suggest the 9th was annihilated in a battle against northern British tribes, possibly during a failed attempt to subdue Scotland. Others propose the legion was transferred to the eastern frontiers of the Roman Empire and met its end in conflicts there. Recent archaeological evidence has complicated the picture. Artifacts bearing the legion's insignia have been discovered in the Netherlands, dating to a period after the unit's supposed destruction in Britain. This has led to speculation that at least part of the 9th may have been redeployed to continental Europe. Despite ongoing research, no definitive answer has emerged. The lack of conclusive evidence has allowed the mystery of the Ninth Legion to capture imaginations for centuries, inspiring numerous books, films, and debates about the true fate of these Roman soldiers. The exact location of King Solomon's mines remains a mystery, blending historical accounts with legend and folklore. Many scholars believe the mines were likely situated in the ancient kingdom of Israel, possibly in the region now known as the Timna Valley in southern Israel. This area contains extensive copper deposits and shows signs of ancient mining activity. However, the scale and wealth described in biblical accounts have not been substantiated by archaeological findings. Other theories suggest the mines could have been located in areas of modern-day Jordan, Saudi Arabia, or even as far south as Zimbabwe. These speculations are based on various interpretations of ancient texts and the presence of historical mining sites in these regions. It is important to note that while King Solomon was a historical figure, the existence of his legendary mines as described in popular culture is debated among historians and archaeologists. The story of King Solomon's mines may be a combination of actual mining operations from different periods and locations, embellished over time into a single, grand narrative. The ancient Egyptian city of Heraklion, also known as Thonis, vanished beneath the Mediterranean Sea over 1,000 years ago, leaving behind a wealth of mysteries for modern archaeologists to unravel. This once thriving port city, rediscovered in 2001, has yielded a treasure trove of artifacts and structures that paint a picture of its former grandeur. One of the most intriguing mysteries surrounding Heraklion is the exact cause of its sinking. While some scientists attribute its demise to rising sea levels and the gradual subsidence of the land, others speculate that a catastrophic event, such as an earthquake or tsunami, might have played a role. The truth likely lies in a combination of factors, and researchers continue to study the site for clues. Another puzzle that captivates historians is the city's role in ancient Egyptian culture and commerce. Heraklion was strategically located at the mouth of the Nile, serving as a gateway between the Mediterranean and the Egyptian heartland. Archaeologists have uncovered evidence of a bustling trade hub, including sunken ships, gold coins, and giant statues. However, the full extent of its importance and influence in the ancient world remains a subject of ongoing investigation. Perhaps the most tantalizing mystery of Heraklion is what still lies hidden beneath the seabed. Despite extensive underwater excavations, only a small portion of the city has been explored. Archaeologists believe that countless artifacts and structures remain buried, waiting to be discovered. Each new find has the potential to reshape our understanding of ancient Egyptian civilization and its connections to the wider Mediterranean world. The true purpose of Stonehenge remains one of archaeology's most enduring mysteries. This ancient monument, located in Wiltshire, England, has captivated researchers and the public for centuries. While we cannot definitively state its exact function, archaeological evidence and ongoing studies have provided several compelling theories. One prominent idea suggests that Stonehenge served as a sophisticated calendar. The alignment of its stones corresponds with the summer and winter solstices, indicating that ancient people might have used it to track seasonal changes crucial for agriculture and religious ceremonies. This astronomical function could have helped early societies predict important yearly events and plan their activities accordingly. Another theory proposes that Stonehenge was a sacred healing site. The presence of human remains and evidence of injuries among the buried individuals hint at the possibility that people traveled great distances seeking cures. The unique bluestone used in parts of the structure, transported from over 150 miles away, was believed to possess special properties, potentially reinforcing the site's perceived healing powers. Researchers have also suggested that Stonehenge functioned as a ceremonial center for ancestor worship, or as a symbol of unity for the diverse Neolithic communities in the area. The immense effort required to construct and maintain such a monument implies its significant cultural and social importance. As we continue to uncover new evidence, our understanding of Stonehenge's purpose evolves, reminding us of the ingenuity and complexity of our ancient ancestors. The colossal stones of Baalbek in Lebanon have puzzled archaeologists and engineers for centuries. These enormous limestone blocks, some weighing up to 1,000 tons, were quarried, transported, and precisely positioned to form the foundation of the Temple of Jupiter. The exact methods used by ancient builders remain a subject of debate and speculation. However, experts believe a combination of sophisticated engineering techniques was employed. These likely included the use of rollers, sleds, and ramps to move the stones from nearby quarries. Teams of workers, possibly numbering in the thousands, would have used ropes and pulleys to drag and maneuver the massive blocks into place. One theory suggests that the stones were transported on wooden rollers along specially constructed roads. Another proposes that they were slid on sleds over lubricated surfaces, possibly using water or animal fat to reduce friction. Once at the construction site, the stones may have been lifted using levers and placed on temporary earthen ramps. The precision with which these megaliths were fitted together is remarkable, with joints so tight that even a thin blade cannot be inserted between them. This level of accuracy suggests that the ancient builders possessed advanced knowledge of surveying, mathematics, and construction techniques that we are still trying to fully understand today. Göbekli Tepe, located in southeastern Turkey, stands as a remarkable archaeological site that has revolutionized our understanding of early human civilization. This ancient complex, dating back to around 10,000 years before the present, predates the invention of pottery, metallurgy, writing, and even the wheel. The significance of Göbekli Tepe lies in its challenge to conventional theories about the development of human societies. Traditionally, archaeologists believed that complex religious structures only emerged after the advent of agriculture and settled communities. However, Göbekli Tepe suggests that organized religion and monumental architecture may have come first, potentially driving the transition to agriculture. The site consists of several circular enclosures, each containing massive T-shaped stone pillars intricately carved with animal figures and abstract symbols. These structures, some standing up to 20 feet tall and weighing up to 20 tons, demonstrate a level of sophistication and organization previously thought impossible for hunter-gatherer societies. Göbekli Tepe has profound implications for our understanding of prehistoric human capabilities and social structures. It suggests that early humans were capable of complex planning, cooperation, and symbolic thought long before the development of writing or cities. This discovery has led to a re-evaluation of the timeline and drivers of human cultural evolution, highlighting the potential role of shared beliefs and rituals in the formation of large-scale societies. The Hypogeum of Hal Saflieni in Malta stands as a remarkable testament to the ingenuity and skill of ancient builders. Constructed around 5,000 years ago during the Neolithic period, this underground complex was painstakingly carved into the limestone bedrock using simple tools made of flint, obsidian, and animal bones. The ancient Maltese employed a subtractive sculpting technique, carefully removing layers of soft limestone to create a series of interconnected chambers and passages. They began by cutting entrances into the rock face and then worked their way downward, hollowing out successive levels. As they progressed, they left strategic pillars of untouched stone to support the weight of the structure above. One of the most impressive aspects of the Hypogeum is its intricate design, which includes features that mimic above-ground megalithic temples. The builders carved decorative elements such as trilithons, lintels, and corbelled ceilings directly into the rock, demonstrating a sophisticated understanding of architecture and aesthetics. They also incorporated acoustic properties into certain chambers, creating spaces where sound resonates in unusual and captivating ways. The construction of the Hypogeum was likely a multi-generational effort, spanning several centuries. This enormous undertaking required not only physical labor, but also careful planning and a deep knowledge of the local geology. The fact that this structure has survived for millennia is a testament to the skill and foresight of its ancient creators, who left behind a mysterious and awe-inspiring legacy for future generations to explore and ponder. The Coral Castle in Florida, despite its name, is not actually made of coral. This remarkable structure is composed of massive blocks of oolite limestone, some weighing up to 30 tons. The castle was single-handedly built by Edward Leedskalnin, a Latvian immigrant, over the course of 28 years, from 1923 to 1951. The true function of the Coral Castle remains a subject of debate and speculation. Officially, Leedskalnin claimed he built it as a tribute to his lost love, who had cancelled their wedding just one day before the ceremony. However, many believe the castle served as a demonstration of Leedskalnin's understanding of magnetism and leverage. The construction methods used by Leedskalnin have puzzled engineers and scientists for decades. He worked mostly at night and in secret, leading to theories about levitation and manipulation of the Earth's magnetic fields. Some even suggest he had knowledge of ancient building techniques used in constructing monuments like the Egyptian pyramids. Today, the Coral Castle functions as a tourist attraction and museum, showcasing Leedskalnin's enigmatic creations. These include a 9-ton gate that moves with just a touch, celestial-aligned features, and furniture carved from solid rock. While its original purpose remains shrouded in mystery, the Coral Castle continues to intrigue visitors and researchers alike, serving as a testament to one man's determination and ingenuity. The precision-cut stones of Sacsayhuaman in Peru continue to astound archaeologists and engineers alike. These massive blocks, some weighing over 100 tons, fit together with remarkable accuracy, often without the need for mortar. The level of craftsmanship is so extraordinary that even today it would be challenging to replicate using modern technology. The Inca, who built this fortress in the 15th century, likely used a combination of sophisticated techniques to achieve such precision. They may have employed a method called stone annealing, where they repeatedly heated and cooled the rocks to make them more pliable for shaping. This process, coupled with their advanced understanding of geology, allowed them to work with the natural grain and composition of the stones. Experts believe the Inca used bronze chisels, hammerstones, and sand abrasives to gradually shape these enormous blocks. They might have created initial rough cuts at the quarry sites before transporting the stones to their final location for fine-tuning. The final fitting process likely involved repeatedly lifting and lowering the blocks, making minor adjustments each time to achieve the seamless fit we see today. The incredible precision of Sacsayhuaman's stonework speaks to the Incas' advanced engineering skills and their deep understanding of materials and construction techniques. Their methods, while not fully understood, demonstrate a level of expertise that continues to impress and puzzle modern scientists and engineers. The Blythe intaglios, massive ground drawings etched into the desert floor near Blythe, California, continue to intrigue archaeologists and researchers. These enormous geoglyphs, some stretching over 100 feet in length, depict human figures, animals, and geometric shapes. Their exact purpose remains a subject of debate and speculation among experts. Many archaeologists believe the Blythe intaglios served important ceremonial and religious functions for the Native American tribes of the region, particularly the Mojave and Quechan peoples. These geoglyphs likely played a role in sacred rituals, possibly related to creation myths or ancestor worship. The human figures, for instance, might represent mythical heroes or deities central to tribal beliefs. Some researchers suggest the intaglios acted as territorial markers or gathering places for different groups. Their immense size and visibility from nearby elevated areas indicate they were meant to be seen from a distance, perhaps serving as landmarks for travelers or pilgrims. Others propose the geoglyphs had astronomical significance, aligning with celestial bodies or events. Despite ongoing research, the full meaning and purpose of the Blythe intaglios remain elusive. Their creation, dating back hundreds or even thousands of years, speaks to the rich cultural heritage of the indigenous peoples of the American Southwest. These enigmatic earth drawings continue to captivate our imagination, offering a glimpse into the complex spiritual and social lives of ancient Native American civilizations. The Goseck Circle, located in Germany, is a remarkable testament to the ingenuity of ancient builders. Constructed around 4,800 years before the present day, this Neolithic structure showcases an impressive level of astronomical knowledge and engineering skill. To create the perfectly circular shape, the builders likely used a simple yet effective technique. They may have planted a stake in the center of the chosen site and attached a rope to it. By walking in a circle while keeping the rope taut, they could mark out a perfect circle on the ground. This method, known as the rope and stake technique, has been used in various cultures throughout history for creating circular structures. The precision of the Goseck circle goes beyond its shape. The structure features carefully aligned gates that correspond to the rising and setting points of the sun during the winter and summer solstices. This alignment suggests that the builders possessed a sophisticated understanding of celestial movements and their relationship to the changing seasons. The construction of the circle itself involved digging a series of concentric trenches and erecting wooden palisades. The outer ring measures about 75 meters in diameter, demonstrating the scale of this ancient undertaking. The level of planning and coordination required to create such a precise structure highlights the organizational capabilities of Neolithic societies, challenging our perceptions of prehistoric human achievements. The Pulemele Mound in Samoa, also known as Tia So Ancient Mound, is the largest ancient structure in Polynesia. This massive stone pyramid, measuring about 160 feet by 130 feet at its base and rising over 40 feet high, has long intrigued archaeologists and historians. However, the meaning behind its intricate carvings remains largely a mystery. The carvings found on the stones of Pulemele Mound are believed to be symbolic representations of Samoan culture and mythology. Some experts suggest that these intricate designs may depict important celestial events, serving as a kind of astronomical calendar for the ancient Samoans. Others propose that the carvings could represent genealogical information, recording the lineages of important chiefs or families. Another theory posits that the carvings might be related to religious or spiritual practices. The mound itself is thought to have been a ceremonial center, possibly used for important rituals or as a gathering place for community events. In this context, the carvings could be invocations to gods or ancestors or symbols of important cultural stories and traditions. Despite ongoing research, the full meaning of these carvings remains elusive. The lack of written records from the time of the mound's construction, estimated to be between 700 and 1500 years ago, makes deciphering their exact significance challenging. As archaeologists continue to study the site, they hope to uncover more clues that will help unlock the secrets of this ancient Samoan wonder and its enigmatic carvings. The construction of Gunung Padang in Indonesia remains shrouded in mystery, challenging our understanding of ancient engineering capabilities. This massive megalithic site, located in West Java, has intrigued archaeologists and historians for decades. Recent studies suggest that Gunung Padang might be much older and more complex than initially thought, potentially dating back to over 20,000 years ago. The site consists of several terraced levels built into a hillside with large andesite stones arranged in precise geometric patterns. These stones, some weighing several tons, were transported from distant quarries and expertly fitted together without mortar. The ancient builders demonstrated remarkable skill in shaping and positioning these massive blocks, creating structures that have withstood the test of time. Geophysical surveys have revealed that Gunung Padang is not just a surface construction, but a series of layered structures. Beneath the visible terraces lie buried chambers and interconnected spaces, suggesting a sophisticated architectural design. This hidden complexity has led some researchers to propose that Gunung Padang might be the oldest known pyramid-like structure in the world. The methods used to construct Gunung Padang remain a subject of debate. Some theories suggest the use of advanced stoneworking techniques, including the possibility of stone softening using local plant extracts. Others propose ingenious transportation methods involving wooden rollers, sleds, and ramps. The precision of the stone placement indicates a deep understanding of engineering principles that challenges our perceptions of prehistoric human capabilities. The Antikythera mechanism stands as one of the most intriguing and sophisticated artifacts from the ancient world. This remarkable device, discovered in a shipwreck off the Greek island of Antikythera, served as an advanced astronomical calculator. Its primary purpose was to predict celestial events and track the movements of heavenly bodies with astonishing accuracy. This ancient Greek invention could compute the positions of the sun, moon, and planets, as well as forecast solar and lunar eclipses. It also tracked the timing of important events in the Greek calendar, such as the Olympic Games. The mechanism's complexity and precision were far ahead of its time, showcasing the advanced astronomical knowledge and engineering skills of its creators. The Antikythera mechanism consisted of a series of intricate bronze gears housed within a wooden case. By turning a hand crank, users could set the device to a specific date and receive detailed astronomical information. This level of sophistication in mechanical computing would not be seen again for over 1,000 years. The discovery and ongoing study of the Antikythera mechanism have revolutionized our understanding of ancient Greek technology and scientific knowledge. It serves as a testament to the ingenuity of our ancestors and continues to challenge our perceptions of technological progress throughout history. The Baghdad Battery, discovered in Iraq in the 1930s, is a fascinating artifact that continues to intrigue scientists and historians. This ancient device, dating back over 2,000 years, consists of a clay jar containing a copper cylinder and an iron rod. When filled with an acidic liquid like vinegar or wine, it could potentially generate a small electric current. The principle behind its operation is similar to that of modern batteries. The copper cylinder acts as the positive electrode, while the iron rod serves as the negative electrode. The acidic solution acts as an electrolyte, facilitating the flow of electrons between the two metals. This electrochemical reaction produces a voltage, albeit a very small one, estimated to be around 0.5 to 1 volt. However, the actual purpose and use of the Baghdad battery remain subjects of debate. Some theories suggest it might have been used for electroplating jewelry or religious artifacts, while others propose it could have been employed in early medical treatments. Skeptics argue that it might not have been a battery at all, but rather a storage vessel for sacred scrolls. Despite the uncertainty surrounding its original function, the Baghdad battery represents an intriguing glimpse into ancient technological capabilities. It challenges our assumptions about early civilizations and their understanding of electricity, prompting us to reconsider the timeline of scientific discoveries. The dropper stones have captured the imagination of many, but their true significance remains a subject of debate and skepticism in the scientific community. These artifacts, allegedly discovered in 1938 in the Bayan Kara Ula Mountains of China, consist of hundreds of stone discs with intricate spiral grooves and strange markings. Proponents of alternative theories claim these stones are evidence of ancient alien contact, suggesting they contain encoded information about extraterrestrial visitors. However, mainstream archaeologists and historians dispute these claims, arguing that there is no credible evidence to support such extraordinary interpretations. The controversy surrounding the dropper stones highlights the ongoing tension between scientific skepticism and the human desire for mysterious explanations of our past. While the stones have inspired numerous books and documentaries, their authenticity and origin remain unverified by reputable scientific institutions. This case serves as a reminder of the importance of rigorous scientific investigation and the need for caution when interpreting archaeological finds. It also demonstrates how intriguing artifacts can spark public interest in archaeology and ancient history, even when their true nature remains uncertain. The Klerksdorp spheres, found in pyrophyllite deposits near Ottosdal, South Africa, have been the subject of much scientific inquiry and speculation. These small, spherical to disc-shaped objects, typically measuring a few centimeters in diameter, have intrigued researchers due to their seemingly perfect shape and mysterious origins. Geological studies indicate that these spheres are not artificial artifacts, as some have claimed, but natural formations. They are believed to have formed through a process called concretion, where mineral matter accumulates around a core over millions of years. In the case of the Klerksdorp spheres, the process likely occurred in marine sediments approximately 2.8 billion years ago. The spheres consist mainly of hematite, a form of iron oxide, with wollastonite and goethite also present. Their distinctive grooves and ridges, which have led some to speculate about their artificial nature, are actually the result of natural weathering processes over time. As softer parts of the spheres eroded, the harder, more resistant materials remained, creating the intricate patterns we see today. While the Klerksdorp spheres may appear unusually symmetrical, similar naturally occurring spherical formations have been found in other parts of the world. Their formation is a testament to the remarkable geological processes that shape our planet over vast periods of time, creating objects that can appear almost too perfect to be natural. The main penny, also known as the Goddard coin, is a Norse silver coin that has sparked intrigue and debate among archaeologists and historians. This artifact was discovered in 1957 during an archaeological excavation at the Goddard site, a Native American settlement located in Brooklyn, Maine, United States. The coin dates back to the reign of Olaf Kyrre, a Norwegian king who ruled from 1067 to 1093 Common Era. What makes the main penny particularly fascinating is its potential implications for pre-Columbian contact between Norse explorers and Native Americans. The coin's presence in Maine, thousands of miles from its place of origin in medieval Scandinavia, raises questions about how it arrived there. Some researchers suggest it could be evidence of Norse exploration or trade in North America, predating Christopher Columbus by several centuries. However, the coin's significance remains a subject of debate among experts. While some view it as proof of Norse presence in Maine, others argue it might have arrived through indigenous trade networks long after initial Norse contact in other parts of North America, such as Newfoundland. The lack of other Norse artifacts at the site and the isolated nature of the find have led many scholars to be cautious about drawing definitive conclusions. Despite the uncertainty surrounding its journey to Maine, the coin remains a valuable archaeological find. It continues to fuel discussions about early transatlantic contacts and the complex nature of prehistoric trade networks in North America. The main penny serves as a reminder of the potential for unexpected discoveries to challenge our understanding of historical interactions between different cultures. Damascus steel, renowned for its exceptional strength and flexibility, was a marvel of ancient metallurgy. The exact techniques used by ancient smiths remain somewhat mysterious, but modern research has shed light on their methods. The key to Damascus steel's remarkable properties lay in its unique composition and forging process. The steel was created using Wootz ingots, a type of high-carbon steel produced in India and Sri Lanka. These ingots contained trace elements such as vanadium, chromium, manganese, and niobium, which played crucial roles in the formation of the steel's distinctive structure. The smiths would heat and forge these ingots repeatedly, folding and hammering the metal to create layers. This repeated folding and forging process, combined with careful heat treatment, resulted in the formation of carbon nanotubes and cementite nanowires within the steel's structure. These microscopic features gave Damascus steel its extraordinary flexibility and strength. The carbon nanotubes allowed the steel to flex without breaking, while the cementite nanowires provided hardness and the ability to hold a sharp edge. The Smiths also employed a technique called differential heat treatment, where different parts of the blade were heated and cooled at varying rates. This process created regions of harder and softer steel within the same blade, further enhancing its flexibility and durability. The combination of these techniques resulted in a steel that was both hard enough to maintain a sharp edge and flexible enough to withstand the rigors of combat without shattering. The Roman dodecahedrons remain one of the most intriguing and enigmatic artifacts from ancient times. These small, hollow objects made of bronze or stone have puzzled archaeologists and historians for centuries. Discovered across Europe, from Wales to Hungary, these 12-sided geometrical shapes with circular holes in each face have no clear purpose that we can definitively determine. Numerous theories have been proposed over the years, but none have been conclusively proven. Some suggest they were used as measuring devices for distance or angles, possibly in surveying or engineering. Others propose they might have been religious objects, used in rituals or as symbols of power. There are even theories that they could have been used as games pieces or as tools for knitting gloves. One interesting hypothesis is that these dodecahedrons might have been used as astronomical instruments, possibly to calculate agriculturally important dates or to determine the optimal sowing times for winter grain. This theory is supported by the fact that the angles formed by the corners of the dodecahedron are close to the angles of the Earth's axial tilt. Despite extensive research, the true purpose of these fascinating objects remains a mystery. Their widespread distribution across the Roman Empire suggests they held some significance, yet their absence from contemporary records or artwork deepens the puzzle. The Roman dodecahedrons continue to captivate our imagination, reminding us that even in our age of advanced knowledge, some secrets of the past still elude us. The Quimbaya artifacts, a collection of small gold objects created by the pre-Columbian Quimbaya civilization in present-day Colombia, have sparked considerable debate and speculation. Some enthusiasts claim these objects resemble modern airplanes, suggesting advanced ancient knowledge of flight. However, this interpretation is not supported by mainstream archaeology or aviation history. These golden artifacts, dating back approximately 1,500 to 2,000 years, are primarily believed to represent stylized animals, insects, and birds common to the region. The objects that some claim look like airplanes are more likely artistic depictions of native wildlife, such as fish or birds, rendered in the distinctive Quimbaya style. The perceived similarity to modern aircraft is largely due to pareidolia, a psychological phenomenon where the human mind perceives familiar patterns or shapes in unrelated objects. When viewed from certain angles, some of these artifacts might superficially resemble the general shape of an airplane. However, this resemblance is coincidental rather than intentional. It is important to note that the development of powered flight is well documented in recent history, with the Wright brothers achieving the first sustained, controlled flight in 1903. There is no credible evidence of advanced aeronautical knowledge in pre-Columbian South America that would have allowed for the creation of artifacts accurately depicting modern airplanes. The genetic disk of Peru is a controversial artifact that has sparked intense debate among archaeologists, historians, and ancient astronaut theorists. This stone disk, allegedly discovered in a cave near Cusco, Peru, features intricate carvings that some claim depict human DNA and embryonic development. Supporters of its authenticity argue that the disk provides evidence of advanced scientific knowledge possessed by ancient civilizations or even extraterrestrial visitors. They point to the disk's detailed representations of cell division and what appears to be a human embryo as proof that its creators had a sophisticated understanding of genetics and human development. However, many mainstream scientists and archaeologists dismiss the genetic disk as a modern forgery. They cite the lack of provenance and proper archaeological context for the artifact, as well as the improbability of ancient cultures possessing such detailed genetic knowledge. Critics argue that the disk's imagery is too conveniently aligned with modern scientific understanding to be genuinely ancient. Despite the controversy, the genetic disk of Peru continues to captivate the imagination of many. It serves as a reminder of the ongoing mysteries surrounding ancient civilizations and the human desire to uncover hidden knowledge from our past. Whether genuine artifact or clever hoax, the disk has become a focal point for discussions about the potential capabilities of our ancestors and the nature of scientific discovery. The Koso artifact, despite claims of being an ancient electrical device, is not actually millions of years old, nor does it contain electrical components. This object, discovered in California in 1961, was initially believed to be a remarkable find due to its unusual appearance. However, subsequent scientific analysis revealed a much less extraordinary explanation. The artifact is in fact a spark plug from the 1920s or 30s that became encased in a hardened mass of clay, rock, and rust. This process, known as accretion, can occur relatively quickly under the right conditions. The spark plug likely fell into a geothermal area rich in minerals, where it was rapidly coated and transformed by mineral deposits. What appeared to be advanced electrical components were simply the normal parts of an old spark plug, distorted by natural processes. The ceramic insulator, metal casing, and other elements of the spark plug were misinterpreted as evidence of ancient advanced technology. This case serves as a reminder of the importance of thorough scientific investigation and the dangers of jumping to extraordinary conclusions without proper evidence. It also demonstrates how natural processes can create objects that may seem puzzling or out of place at first glance. Ancient civilizations across the globe demonstrated remarkable ingenuity in constructing astronomical observatories with astonishing precision. These structures were not just architectural marvels, but also sophisticated scientific instruments that allowed our ancestors to track celestial movements and understand the cosmos. The key to their precision lay in meticulous observation and record-keeping over generations. Ancient astronomers would mark the positions of celestial bodies at different times of the year, gradually refining their understanding of cosmic cycles. They used this knowledge to align their structures with incredible accuracy, often orienting them to specific stars or solar events. Many ancient observatories employed a technique called naked eye astronomy. By creating precisely positioned stone markers or openings in structures, they could track the movement of celestial bodies without telescopes. For instance, the Mayans built observatories with windows that would frame certain stars on specific dates, while Stonehenge in England was constructed to align with solstices and equinoxes. These ancient astronomers also developed sophisticated mathematical systems to predict celestial events. The Babylonians, for example, created complex mathematical models to forecast planetary movements. This combination of patient observation, mathematical skill, and architectural precision allowed our ancestors to create observatories that still astound us today with their accuracy. Greek fire was a mysterious and formidable weapon used by the Byzantine Empire, particularly in naval warfare. The exact composition of Greek fire remains a subject of debate among historians and scientists, as its formula was a closely guarded state secret. However, we can discuss the key technologies that likely contributed to its creation and deployment. The primary component of Greek fire was probably a mixture of petroleum-based substances, such as naphtha or crude oil, combined with other flammable materials like pine resin and sulfur. The Byzantines likely developed specialized pumps and siphons to project this incendiary liquid onto enemy ships. These devices were crucial for delivering the fire at a distance and with considerable force. Another important technological aspect was the development of airtight containers to store the volatile mixture safely. These containers needed to withstand the corrosive nature of the ingredients while preventing accidental ignition. The Byzantines also created a unique ignition system, possibly using quicklime, which would generate heat when exposed to water, setting the mixture ablaze upon contact with its target. The success of Greek fire also depended on the design of Byzantine warships, particularly the dromon. These vessels were equipped with specially designed bronze tubes mounted on their prows, allowing for the accurate projection of the flaming liquid. This combination of chemical knowledge, mechanical engineering, and naval architecture made Greek fire a fearsome weapon that helped secure Byzantine naval supremacy for centuries. Ancient civilizations demonstrated remarkable medical knowledge and surgical skills, particularly in the realm of cranial surgeries. These procedures, known as trepanation, involved creating openings in the skull and were performed as far back as 7,000 years ago. Surprisingly, archaeological evidence suggests that many patients survived these operations. The Incas of ancient Peru were especially adept at this practice. They used specialized tools crafted from obsidian and bronze to carefully cut through the skull. These instruments were remarkably similar to modern surgical tools, highlighting the sophistication of their medical practices. The surgeons of these ancient societies likely used coca leaves and other natural substances as anesthetics and antiseptics. They also developed techniques to control bleeding and prevent infection, crucial factors in the success of such invasive procedures. Evidence of bone regrowth around the surgical sites indicates that many patients lived for years after their operations. These ancient cranial surgeries were performed for various reasons, including the treatment of head injuries, relief of intracranial pressure, and possibly even for spiritual or ritualistic purposes. The level of skill demonstrated by these early surgeons challenges our perceptions of ancient medical knowledge and reminds us that innovation and expertise have deep roots in human history. Damascene steel, renowned for its exceptional strength and distinctive wavy pattern, was a metallurgical marvel that puzzled scientists for centuries. The secret behind its superior quality lay in its unique composition and manufacturing process, which was lost to time until recent scientific investigations shed light on its mysteries. The key to Damascene steel's extraordinary properties was its high carbon content and the presence of trace elements such as vanadium, chromium, manganese, and molybdenum. These elements, combined with a specific forging technique, created a material with a perfect balance of hardness and flexibility. The steel contained nanoscale structures, including carbon nanotubes and cementite nanowires, which contributed to its legendary sharpness and durability. The forging process involved repeated heating and cooling cycles, along with careful hammering and folding of the metal. This technique allowed for the even distribution of carbon and other elements throughout the steel, resulting in its characteristic wavy pattern known as Damascus pattern. The slow cooling process also contributed to the formation of the unique microstructures that gave the steel its superior edge retention and toughness. Modern analysis has revealed that the source of the special steel ingots used in Damascene blades, called Wootz steel, likely came from specific iron ore deposits in India. These deposits contained the precise combination of trace elements that, when smelted using traditional methods, produced the exceptional steel that became legendary across the ancient world. The loss of these specific ore sources, combined with changing trade routes and the guarded nature of the forging techniques, led to the disappearance of true Damascene steel for centuries. The Incas developed a remarkable communication system known as the quipu, a complex arrangement of knotted cords that allowed them to record and transmit information across their vast empire. This ingenious method used different colors, knot types, and cord positions to represent various data, including numerical values, historical records, and even narratives. Quipu makers, called quipucamayocs, were highly trained specialists who could encode and decode these intricate messages. The system was so effective that it enabled the Inca rulers to maintain control and gather information from the farthest reaches of their territory, spanning parts of modern-day Peru, Ecuador, Bolivia, Argentina, Chile, and Colombia. The Inca communication network was further enhanced by an extensive system of roads known as the Capac Ñan, or the Inca Trail. This network of over 25,000 miles of well-maintained paths connected the empire's major centers. Along these routes, relay runners called shaskir carried messages and small goods, operating in a relay system that allowed information to travel quickly across great distances. These runners were stationed at small shelters placed at regular intervals along the trails. When a chasqui arrived with a message, the next runner would immediately take off with it, ensuring swift and efficient communication throughout the empire. This combination of the Quipu record-keeping system and the chasqui relay network allowed the Incas to manage their vast territory with remarkable efficiency, showcasing their advanced organizational skills and ingenuity. Roman concrete, a marvel of ancient engineering, has puzzled scientists for centuries with its remarkable durability. The secret to its longevity lies in a unique combination of ingredients and a chemical process that continues to strengthen the material over time. The key component in Roman concrete is volcanic ash, specifically a type called pozzolana. This ash, when mixed with lime and seawater, creates a chemical reaction that produces an incredibly strong and durable material. The Romans discovered this mixture by observing how certain volcanic rocks reacted with seawater, forming a natural cement. Unlike modern concrete, which typically degrades when exposed to seawater, Roman concrete actually becomes stronger in marine environments. This is due to the formation of rare minerals within the concrete matrix, particularly one called aluminum tobermorite. These crystals continue to grow over time, filling in cracks and strengthening the overall structure. The Romans also incorporated chunks of volcanic rock into their concrete, creating a composite material that was both strong and flexible. This allowed their structures to withstand earthquakes and other environmental stresses that would damage or destroy modern concrete. The combination of these innovative techniques and materials resulted in a concrete that has endured for 2 millennia, outlasting many modern structures built just decades ago. Ancient civilizations developed sophisticated metallurgy techniques through centuries of experimentation and observation. The discovery of metals and their properties was a gradual process that began with the use of naturally occurring pure metals like gold and copper. As knowledge grew, ancient metalworkers learned to extract metals from ores and create alloys with enhanced properties. One key advancement was the development of smelting, a process that uses heat to separate metal from its ore. This technique allowed civilizations to work with a wider range of metals, including iron. The Hittites of ancient Anatolia were among the first to master iron smelting, giving them a significant technological advantage over their neighbors. Another crucial development was the creation of bronze, an alloy of copper and tin. Bronze was harder and more durable than pure copper, making it ideal for tools and weapons. The widespread use of bronze led to a period known as the Bronze Age, during which metalworking techniques became increasingly sophisticated. Ancient metalworkers also developed methods for shaping and working metals, such as casting, forging, and annealing. These techniques allowed them to create intricate objects and structures, from delicate jewelry to massive monuments. The knowledge of metallurgy was often closely guarded and passed down through generations of skilled craftsmen, contributing to the technological advancement of ancient civilizations. The Mayas' remarkable astronomical knowledge and meticulous observations of celestial bodies were key to creating their highly accurate calendar. Over centuries, they carefully tracked the movements of the sun, moon, and planets, particularly Venus, recording their findings and refining their calculations. Their system of mathematics, which included the concept of zero, allowed for precise computations and long-term predictions. The Maya used a base 20 numerical system and developed sophisticated mathematical techniques to track and predict celestial events with astonishing accuracy. The Maya also constructed specialized observatories and aligned their buildings to celestial events, further enhancing their ability to make precise astronomical measurements. These structures, combined with their mathematical prowess, enabled them to create multiple interconnected calendars that tracked different cycles with great precision. This accumulated knowledge passed down and improved upon through generations, culminated in a calendar system that could accurately predict solar and lunar eclipses and planetary movements far into the future. The Mayas' dedication to astronomy and mathematics, driven by religious and agricultural needs, resulted in a calendar that remains a testament to their scientific achievements. Ancient Chinese seismographs, pioneered by the inventor Zhang Heng in the year 132, were remarkable devices that could detect earthquakes from great distances. These ingenious instruments consisted of a large bronze vessel resembling an ornate wine jar with 8 dragon heads arranged around its upper rim. Each dragon held a small bronze ball in its mouth. Positioned below the dragons were 8 bronze toads, their mouths open and ready to catch any falling balls. Inside the vessel was a pendulum mechanism. When an earthquake occurred, even if it was hundreds of miles away, the ground vibrations would cause the pendulum to swing. This motion would trigger one of the dragons to release its ball. The ball would then drop into the mouth of the toad directly below it, creating a loud clang. The position of the dragon that released its ball indicated the direction from which the earthquake originated. This allowed officials to send aid to the affected regions quickly, even if no tremors were felt locally. This ancient seismograph was surprisingly effective, detecting earthquakes that were not felt by humans in the area. It demonstrates the advanced scientific understanding and engineering capabilities of ancient Chinese civilization, combining principles of mechanics, physics, and design to create a functional early warning system for natural disasters. The Delhi Iron Pillar stands as a testament to the advanced metallurgical skills of ancient Indian craftsmen. Created over 1,500 years ago, this remarkable structure has withstood the test of time, resisting corrosion in a way that continues to intrigue scientists today. The secret behind its rust-resistant properties lies in the unique composition and manufacturing process of the iron used. Analysis reveals a high phosphorus content in the iron, which, when combined with the presence of other elements like copper and nickel, forms a protective layer on the surface. This layer, known as mica-white, acts as a barrier against moisture and oxygen, effectively preventing rust formation. The craftsmen who created the pillar employed a process called forge welding, where small pieces of wrought iron were hammered together at high temperatures. This technique, combined with the careful selection of iron ore low in sulfur and manganese, contributed to the pillar's exceptional durability. The repeated heating and cooling during the forging process also helped distribute the phosphorus evenly throughout the iron. Furthermore, the warm, dry climate of Delhi has played a role in preserving the pillar. The combination of advanced metallurgical knowledge, skilled craftsmanship, and favorable environmental conditions has allowed this ancient marvel to stand the test of time, offering valuable insights into the technological achievements of our ancestors. The mystery of the screaming mummies has captivated archaeologists and historians for decades. These ancient Egyptian mummies, discovered with their mouths agape in what appears to be a final, agonizing scream, have long puzzled experts. However, recent research has shed light on the likely cause of their unusual appearance and sudden demise. Contrary to popular belief, these mummies were not actually screaming at the time of their death. The open-mouthed expression is a result of the mummification process and the natural relaxation of jaw muscles after death. As the body dehydrated, the head would tilt backward, causing the mouth to open. This position was then preserved for millennia, creating the illusion of a scream frozen in time. The sudden death of these individuals is now believed to be linked to poisoning. Chemical analysis of hair and tissue samples from several screaming mummies has revealed high levels of toxic substances, particularly arsenic. This suggests that these people may have been victims of deliberate poisoning, possibly as part of political intrigues or power struggles in ancient Egyptian courts. Furthermore, some researchers propose that the poisoning may have been accidental, resulting from contaminated food or water sources. Regardless of the exact circumstances, the evidence points to a rapid and likely painful death, which may have contributed to the dramatic facial expressions preserved in these ancient remains. The screaming mummies serve as a haunting reminder of the complex and often dangerous world of ancient Egyptian politics and daily life. The remarkable preservation of bog bodies across Europe is a fascinating testament to the unique conditions found in peat bogs. These natural time capsules have kept human remains intact for thousands of years, providing us with an extraordinary window into the past. Peat bogs are wetland environments characterized by highly acidic water, low temperatures, and a lack of oxygen. This combination creates an ideal setting for preservation. The acidity of the bog water effectively tans the skin and internal organs of a body, much like the process used to create leather. Meanwhile, the cold temperatures and absence of oxygen prevent the growth of bacteria that would normally cause decomposition. Another crucial factor in the preservation of bog bodies is the presence of a substance called sphagnum, produced by sphagnum moss commonly found in bogs. Sphagnum has powerful antibiotic properties, further inhibiting the decay process. It also binds with nitrogen, removing it from the surrounding environment and essentially mummifying the remains. The anaerobic conditions of the bog also play a significant role in preservation. Without oxygen, many of the organisms responsible for breaking down organic matter cannot survive. This lack of microbial activity, combined with the other preservative factors, allows the bodies to remain in a remarkably well-preserved state for millennia, offering invaluable insights into ancient cultures and practices. The elongated skulls discovered in Peru, particularly in the Paracas region, have intrigued archaeologists and researchers for decades. These unusual cranial shapes are primarily the result of an ancient practice called artificial cranial deformation. This technique involved binding the heads of infants with boards, cloth, or rope to alter the natural shape of their skulls as they grew. The Paracas culture, which flourished between 2,800 and 2,100 years ago, was known for this practice. They believed that elongated skulls were a sign of nobility and social status. Parents would begin the process shortly after birth, when the infant's skull was still malleable, and continue it for several months or even years. While most elongated skulls can be explained by this intentional deformation, some researchers have noted that certain Paracas skulls exhibit unusual features. These include larger cranial volume and different bone structure compared to artificially deformed skulls. This has led to various theories and speculation about their origin, including claims of non-human ancestry. However, genetic studies have confirmed that these individuals were human. The practice of skull elongation was not unique to Peru. Similar customs have been observed in ancient cultures worldwide, including Egypt, Maya civilization, and parts of Europe and Asia. This global occurrence highlights the diverse ways human societies have modified their bodies for cultural, spiritual, or social reasons throughout history. The Tarim Basin mummies, discovered in the Xinjiang region of Western China, have puzzled scientists for decades with their remarkably preserved Caucasian features. These ancient remains, dating back over 4,000 years, showcase distinct European characteristics, including fair skin, light hair, and tall stature. The preservation of these features is primarily due to the unique environmental conditions of the Tarim Basin. This area is characterized by extremely dry and salty soil, which effectively dehydrated the bodies and prevented decay. The arid climate, combined with the natural mummification process, allowed the physical characteristics of these individuals to remain largely intact over millennia. Genetic studies have revealed that these mummies belonged to a population with mixed Eurasian ancestry. They likely descended from groups that migrated eastward from the Eurasian steppe, bringing with them their distinct physical traits. These populations settled in the Tarim Basin, where their genetic isolation and the harsh desert environment helped maintain their unique features. The discovery of these mummies has shed new light on ancient migration patterns and cultural exchanges along the Silk Road. Their preserved Caucasian features serve as a testament to the complex history of human movement and interaction across Eurasia, challenging our understanding of ancient civilizations and their connections. Rupkund Lake, nestled high in the Indian Himalayas, harbors a chilling secret that has puzzled scientists for decades. This remote glacial lake, also known as Skeleton Lake, is the final resting place for hundreds of human remains scattered around its shores. The mystery of these deaths has captivated researchers and explorers alike, prompting numerous investigations to uncover the truth. Recent scientific studies have shed light on this enigma, revealing a surprising and complex story. DNA analysis of the skeletal remains indicates that the dead came from two distinct groups, separated by 1,000 years. The first group, dating back to around 800, consisted of individuals of South Asian ancestry. The second group, from around 1800 CE, included people of Eastern Mediterranean origin. The cause of death for these unfortunate souls appears to be a deadly combination of environmental factors. Evidence suggests that the victims were caught in a severe hailstorm with no shelter. The hailstones, possibly as large as cricket balls, would have caused fatal injuries, especially to the head and shoulders. This theory is supported by the discovery of cracked skulls and shoulder bones among the remains. The timing and circumstances of these deaths remain subjects of ongoing research. Questions persist about why these diverse groups were present at such a remote, high-altitude location. Some speculate they may have been pilgrims, traders, or lost travelers. The Rupkund Lake mystery serves as a stark reminder of the power of nature and the enduring allure of unsolved historical puzzles. The remarkable preservation of the Lady of Dai mummy, also known as Xin Zhui, is a testament to the advanced embalming techniques of ancient China. Discovered in 1974 at Mawangdui, Hunan province, this 2,000-year-old mummy has astounded scientists with its exceptional state of preservation. The key to the mummy's longevity lies in the unique burial environment and embalming process. The body was wrapped in 20 layers of silk and placed in a nested series of 4 coffins, each tightly sealed and packed with charcoal and clay. This created an alkaline environment that inhibited bacterial growth. The innermost coffin was filled with an acidic liquid, likely a mixture of unknown preservatives, which further protected the body from decomposition. The tomb itself played a crucial role in the preservation. It was buried deep underground and sealed with clay, creating an airtight, oxygen-free environment. This lack of oxygen prevented oxidation and decay, while the constant cool temperature and humidity levels in the tomb further slowed decomposition processes. These combined factors resulted in a mummy so well preserved that her skin remained supple, her hair and internal organs intact, and her blood still liquid. The Lady of Dai mummy continues to provide invaluable insights into ancient Chinese culture, medical practices, and embalming techniques, showcasing the advanced scientific knowledge of the Han dynasty. The tale of the red-haired giants of Lovelock Cave is a fascinating blend of Native American legend and archaeological mystery. Located in Nevada, Lovelock Cave has been the subject of intrigue since its excavation in the early 20th century. According to Paiute oral tradition, their ancestors encountered a race of hostile giants known as the Se Te Ka, described as red-haired cannibals of immense stature. Archaeological excavations in Lovelock Cave during the 1920s unearthed numerous artifacts and some human remains. Among the findings were skulls and bones that some claimed were larger than average, fueling speculation about the existence of giants. Researchers also discovered reddish hair among the cave's contents, which some interpreted as evidence supporting the Paiute legends. However, mainstream archaeologists and anthropologists have largely dismissed the notion of a race of giants. They argue that the human remains found in the cave are consistent with normal variation in human populations. The reddish hair, they explain, could be the result of natural preservation processes or the presence of non-native individuals. Despite the lack of scientific support for the giant theory, the legend of the red-haired giants continues to captivate imaginations. It serves as a reminder of the rich oral traditions of Native American cultures and the enduring human fascination with tales of mysterious ancient races. The story of Lovelock Cave blends cultural heritage, archaeological discovery, and the allure of the unexplained, making it a persistent topic of discussion among both scholars and enthusiasts of the unusual. The Windover Bog people, discovered in Florida, present a fascinating case of extraordinary preservation. These ancient human remains, dating back approximately 8,000 years, were found with their brain matter remarkably intact. This exceptional preservation occurred due to the unique conditions of the Windover site. The bodies were submerged in a peat-bottomed pond, which created an anaerobic environment devoid of oxygen. This lack of oxygen prevented the usual process of decomposition that typically occurs after death. Additionally, the highly acidic nature of the peat helped to preserve the soft tissues, including the brain matter. The water in the pond was rich in calcium carbonate, which formed a protective layer around the brains. This mineral coating essentially replaced the original organic material, creating a cast that maintained the structure of the brain. This process, known as calcification, further contributed to the exceptional preservation of the brain tissue. Interestingly, when scientists examined the preserved brains, they found that the structure was so well maintained that they could distinguish between gray and white matter. This level of preservation is extremely rare in archaeological finds, making the Windover Bog people a valuable source of information about ancient human biology and life in prehistoric Florida. The Graubaal man's last meal offers a fascinating glimpse into the diet and agricultural practices of Iron Age Denmark. Analysis of his stomach contents revealed a mixture of both cultivated and wild plants, including barley, seeds from pale persicaria, and traces of animal tissue. This diverse meal suggests a society that combined farming with foraging, adapting to the resources available in their environment. Interestingly, the presence of ergot fungus in the Graubaal man's stomach has sparked intriguing theories about his death. Ergot, a toxic fungus that grows on rye and other grains, can cause hallucinations and other severe symptoms. Some researchers speculate that this fungus might have played a role in his demise, possibly as part of a ritual or execution. The composition of his final meal also provides insights into the seasonal timing of his death. The presence of certain seeds and plant materials indicates that he likely died in late summer or early autumn, aligning with the harvest season. This timing could be significant in understanding the context of his death and the social or religious practices of his community. Furthermore, the detailed preservation of the Graubaal man's last meal showcases the exceptional conditions of peat bogs in preserving organic matter. This remarkable preservation has allowed scientists to conduct extensive analyses, contributing valuable information to our understanding of Iron Age diet, agriculture, and potentially ritual practices. The Siberian Ice Maiden, also known as the Princess of Ukok, has fascinated archaeologists and historians since her discovery in 1993. Her remarkably preserved body, found in a kurgan on the Ukok Plateau in Russia, dates back over 2,000 years. One of the most striking features of this ancient woman is her collection of intricate tattoos, which have remained visible despite the passage of millennia. The preservation of these tattoos is primarily due to the unique environmental conditions in which the Ice Maiden was buried. The permafrost of the Siberian plateau acted as a natural freezer, effectively halting the decomposition process and preserving her skin, along with the pigments used in the tattoos. The extreme cold and dry conditions prevented bacteria and other microorganisms from breaking down the organic matter, including the tattooed skin. The tattoo designs themselves were created using a technique that involved puncturing the skin and inserting charcoal or soot. This method ensured that the pigment was deeply embedded in the dermal layer of the skin, contributing to its longevity. The dark pigments used in the tattoos also played a role in their preservation, as they are more resistant to fading and degradation compared to lighter colors. Furthermore, the careful mummification process employed by the ancient Pazyryk culture, to which the Ice Maiden belonged, likely contributed to the preservation of her tattoos. This process, combined with the natural mummification caused by the freezing conditions, helped maintain the integrity of her skin and the artwork it carried, allowing us a rare glimpse into the artistic practices and cultural significance of tattoos in ancient Siberian societies. The Voynich manuscript remains one of the most perplexing mysteries in the world of historical documents. This enigmatic book, dating back to the early 15th century, has confounded scholars, cryptographers, and linguists for generations. Its pages are filled with an unknown script, accompanied by bizarre illustrations of plants, astronomical diagrams, and human figures. Despite numerous attempts to crack its code, the true meaning of the Voynich manuscript continues to elude experts. Some theories suggest it could be an elaborate hoax, while others propose it might contain encrypted medical knowledge or alchemical secrets. The manuscript's peculiar illustrations have led some researchers to speculate about possible connections to medieval herbal remedies or early astronomical observations. One intriguing hypothesis proposes that the text might be written in a constructed language, purposely designed to be indecipherable. This theory aligns with the historical context of the manuscript's creation, a time when alchemists and scholars often used codes to protect their knowledge from persecution or theft. The enduring mystery of the Voynich manuscript has sparked countless debates and inspired numerous studies. Its resistance to decryption using modern computational methods has only deepened the intrigue surrounding this ancient text. As research continues, the manuscript stands as a testament to the enduring power of unsolved historical puzzles and their ability to captivate our imagination across centuries. The disappearance of Linear A, the writing system used by the Minoan civilization on ancient Crete, remains one of the great mysteries of archaeology. This enigmatic script vanished around 3,500 years ago, coinciding with the decline of Minoan culture. The Minoan civilization flourished on Crete from approximately 2,700 to 1400 BCE. During this time, they developed Linear A to record their language. However, despite numerous examples of Linear A script found on clay tablets and other artifacts, linguists have been unable to decipher it fully. The sudden disappearance of Linear A is likely linked to the broader collapse of Minoan civilization. Several theories attempt to explain this decline, including natural disasters, invasion, or internal social upheaval. A massive volcanic eruption on the nearby island of Thera, now known as Santorini, may have triggered tsunamis and climate changes that devastated Minoan society. As Minoan influence waned, Mycenaean Greeks from the mainland gained control over Crete. They adapted Linear A to create Linear B, a script used to write an early form of Greek. This transition marked the end of Linear A's use and the loss of the Minoan language it represented. The mystery of Linear A's contents continues to intrigue linguists and historians, leaving us with tantalizing clues about a lost civilization. The Rongorongo script of Easter Island remains one of the world's great unsolved mysteries. This unique writing system, found on wooden tablets and other artifacts from the island, has puzzled researchers for over a century. The script consists of intricate glyphs that appear to be a mix of stylized human, animal, and geometric forms. While the exact information contained in the Rongorongo texts remains unknown, scholars have made some educated guesses based on the context and patterns observed. It is believed that the script might record genealogies, religious chants, or historical events important to the Rapa Nui people. Some researchers suggest that certain tablets may contain astronomical information or agricultural calendars. Attempts to decipher Rongorongo have been hampered by the limited number of surviving texts and the lack of a Rosetta Stone equivalent to provide a key to translation. However, some progress has been made in identifying repeated sequences and potential word boundaries within the script. The mystery of Rongorongo adds another layer to the enigmatic history of Easter Island. As researchers continue to study these ancient texts, They hope to unlock the secrets of this lost writing system and gain new insights into the rich culture and knowledge of the Rapa Nui civilization. The Phaistos disc remains one of archaeology's most intriguing mysteries. This clay artifact, discovered on the island of Crete, dates back to the 2nd millennium BCE and features a spiral of stamped symbols on both sides. Unlike traditional writing systems, the disc employs a unique method of conveying information through pictographic symbols arranged in a clockwise spiral. Each side of the disc contains 45 distinct symbols, repeated to create 241 impressions. These symbols depict a wide range of objects and concepts, including human figures, animals, tools, and plants. The method of creating these symbols, using individual stamps for each character, suggests an early form of movable type printing, predating Gutenberg's invention by several millennia. Scholars believe the disc was meant to be read from the outside of the spiral inwards, but the exact meaning of the symbols remains undeciphered. Some theories propose it contains a religious text, a historical record, or even a board game. The uniqueness of the writing system has made translation particularly challenging, as no other examples of this script have been found to provide context or comparison. The Phaistos disc's method of conveying information, while still not fully understood, represents a fascinating example of early human communication and the diverse ways in which ancient civilizations recorded and shared knowledge. Its discovery continues to fuel debates and research in the fields of archaeology and linguistics. The Copper Scroll stands out as a unique and intriguing artifact among the Dead Sea Scrolls. Unlike the other scrolls, which were written on parchment or papyrus, this document was engraved on thin sheets of copper. This unusual choice of material hints at the importance of its contents and has sparked intense interest among scholars and treasure hunters alike. Dating back to around the 1st century Common Era, the Copper Scroll contains a list of 64 locations where vast quantities of gold, silver, and other precious items are supposedly hidden. These descriptions read like a treasure map, detailing specific landmarks and measurements for finding these caches of wealth. The total value of the treasures described would be enormous, even by modern standards. Many theories exist about the origin and purpose of the Copper Scroll. Some researchers believe it may be an inventory of temple treasures hidden before the destruction of Jerusalem by the Romans in 70 Common Era. Others suggest it could be a work of fiction or a symbolic text. The use of copper as a writing material, which was rare and expensive, lends credence to the idea that the information was considered highly valuable and meant to last for a long time. Despite numerous attempts, no one has successfully located any of the treasures described in the Copper Scroll. This has led to ongoing debates about its historical accuracy and true significance. Regardless of whether the treasures exist, the Copper Scroll remains a fascinating glimpse into the concerns and beliefs of an ancient community, preserving their hopes or fears in a uniquely durable form. Contrary to common belief, Sumerian cuneiform did not suddenly appear as a fully developed writing system. The evolution of cuneiform was a gradual process that unfolded over several centuries, beginning around 3200 BCE in the region of ancient Mesopotamia. Initially, the system started as simple pictographs, basic drawings representing objects or concepts. These early symbols were primarily used for record-keeping in trade and administration. Over time, these pictographs became more abstract and standardized, evolving into the wedge-shaped characters we recognize as cuneiform. The development of cuneiform was driven by practical needs. As Sumerian society grew more complex, there was an increasing demand for a more sophisticated method of recording information. This led to the expansion of the symbol set and the introduction of phonetic elements, allowing for the representation of abstract ideas and spoken language. Archaeologists have uncovered numerous clay tablets that showcase this gradual evolution, from early pictographic forms to the more complex cuneiform script. This evidence demonstrates that cuneiform was not a sudden invention, but rather a writing system that developed organically over time to meet the changing needs of Sumerian civilization. The Indus Valley script remains one of the most intriguing, unsolved mysteries in archaeology. This ancient writing system, used over 4,000 years ago in the Indus Valley civilization, continues to baffle researchers and linguists alike. The script consists of hundreds of distinct symbols found on seals, tablets, and pottery throughout the region that once encompassed parts of modern-day Pakistan and northwest India. Despite numerous attempts to decipher the script, its meaning remains elusive. Some scholars believe it may represent a full writing system, encoding an unknown language. Others propose it could be a form of proto-writing, using symbols to convey ideas rather than specific words or sounds. The brevity of most inscriptions, typically containing only 5 to 6 symbols, adds to the challenge of decipherment. One of the most tantalizing aspects of the Indus script is its potential to reveal details about the daily life, beliefs, and social structure of this advanced Bronze Age civilization. If deciphered, it could provide insights into their trading systems, religious practices, and possibly even their system of governance. The script might also shed light on the reasons behind the eventual decline of this once thriving society. Ongoing research employs advanced computational methods and comparative analysis with other ancient scripts to unlock the secrets of the Indus Valley script. As technology progresses and new archaeological discoveries are made, the hope remains that one day we will be able to read these ancient messages and uncover the wealth of knowledge hidden within this enigmatic writing system. The Maya civilization developed their intricate writing system over many centuries, beginning around 2,600 years ago. This sophisticated script, known as Maya hieroglyphs, evolved from earlier Mesoamerican writing systems and became one of the most advanced forms of writing in the ancient Americas. The Maya script consisted of over 800 distinct signs or glyphs, each representing a syllable or a complete word. These glyphs were combined in various ways to form complex ideas and narratives. The system allowed the Maya to record their history, astronomical observations, mathematical calculations, and religious beliefs with remarkable precision. Maya scribes played a crucial role in developing and refining this writing system. They were highly trained specialists who spent years mastering the intricacies of the script. These scribes worked tirelessly to create elaborate texts on various materials, including stone monuments, ceramic vessels, and bark paper codices. The development of Maya writing was closely tied to the growth of Maya civilization itself. As their society became more complex, with expanding trade networks and increasingly sophisticated political systems, the need for a detailed and flexible writing system grew. This led to continuous refinement and expansion of the script, allowing it to adapt to the changing needs of Maya society over time. The Pictish symbols, carved into stone monuments across Scotland, have puzzled historians and archaeologists for centuries. These enigmatic designs, dating back to the late Iron Age and early medieval period, include abstract shapes like crescents, V-rods, and double discs, as well as recognizable animal figures such as eagles, salmon, and wolves. While their exact meaning remains elusive, recent research suggests these symbols may have served as a form of visual language or heraldry for the Pictish people. Some scholars propose they represented names, titles, or lineages of important individuals or clans. Others theorize the symbols had religious or cosmological significance, possibly relating to ancient Celtic beliefs or early Christian influences. Intriguingly, the symbols often appear in specific combinations, hinting at a structured system of communication. This has led some researchers to compare them to other ancient writing systems, suggesting the Picts may have developed their own unique form of proto-writing. However, without a Pictish Rosetta Stone to decipher their meaning, much of their significance remains open to interpretation. As ongoing studies continue to unravel the mysteries of these symbols, they offer tantalizing glimpses into the complex society and beliefs of the Pictish people, reminding us of the rich cultural heritage that lies hidden in the stones of ancient Scotland. The ancient Egyptians developed their hieroglyphic writing system over several centuries. beginning around 3,200 years before the Common Era. This complex system of pictorial symbols evolved from early attempts to record important information about trade, religious practices, and royal decrees. Initially, the Egyptians used simple pictographs to represent objects and concepts. These early symbols were direct representations of what they depicted. Over time, the system grew more sophisticated, incorporating phonetic elements that represented sounds in addition to ideas. This allowed for more nuanced and complex communication. The hieroglyphic system eventually included more than 700 distinct symbols. Some represented entire words, while others stood for specific consonant sounds. The Egyptians did not include vowels in their writing, leaving readers to infer them based on context. This versatile system enabled scribes to record a wide range of information, from religious texts to historical accounts and mathematical calculations. Hieroglyphs were primarily used for formal inscriptions on tomb walls, monuments, and religious texts. For everyday writing, the Egyptians developed a simplified cursive script called hieratic. Later, an even more streamlined form called demotic came into use. Despite these adaptations, the core hieroglyphic system remained in use for over 3,000 years, demonstrating its remarkable longevity and significance in ancient Egyptian culture. Beneath the shallow waters off the coast of North Bimini in the Bahamas lies an intriguing underwater formation known as the Bimini Road. This structure consists of a series of limestone blocks arranged in a linear pattern, stretching for about half a mile. The blocks, some weighing several tons, have sparked intense debate among scientists and enthusiasts alike. Some researchers argue that the Bimini Road is evidence of an ancient civilization, possibly linked to the legendary lost city of Atlantis. They point to the seemingly intentional arrangement of the stones and their uniform size as indicators of human construction. However, most geologists and marine scientists have a different explanation. The prevailing scientific consensus is that the Bimini Road is a natural formation. Experts believe it to be an example of beach rock, a type of sedimentary rock that forms along shorelines. This process occurs when calcium carbonate in seawater cements sand and shell fragments together, creating layers of limestone. Over time, erosion and changes in sea level can break these layers into block-like formations. Despite the scientific explanation, the Bimini Road continues to captivate the imagination of many. Its mysterious appearance and location in the Bermuda Triangle have fueled countless theories and speculations, making it a popular subject for both scientific study and imaginative exploration. The Yonaguni Monument, located off the southern coast of Yonaguni Island in Japan, has been a subject of fascination and debate since its discovery in 1987. This massive underwater structure features stepped terraces, platforms, and what appear to be carved shapes, leading some to speculate about its origins. Many scientists believe the Yonaguni Monument is a natural geological formation, shaped by millions of years of erosion and tectonic activity. The area experiences frequent earthquakes, which can cause fracturing in the sandstone that makes up the structure. Over time, ocean currents and waves have worn away softer layers of rock, leaving behind the more resilient sections that form the distinctive stepped appearance. However, some researchers argue that the monument shows signs of human modification. They point to features such as straight edges, right angles, and what appear to be drainage channels as evidence of ancient human intervention. These proponents suggest the structure could be the remnants of a submerged city, possibly dating back to the last ice age when sea levels were lower. Despite ongoing debate, most geologists maintain that the Yonaguni Monument is primarily a natural formation. They explain that the sandstone layers in the area naturally break along right angles, creating the illusion of artificial construction. The ocean's relentless forces have sculpted this underwater wonder, showcasing the incredible power of natural processes to create seemingly impossible structures. The underwater caves of the Caribbean hold a treasure trove of scientific wonders and historical secrets, These submerged caverns, formed over millions of years, offer a unique glimpse into the Earth's past and present. One of the most intriguing discoveries in these caves is evidence of ancient human habitation. Archaeologists have found well-preserved human remains, some dating back over 6,000 years. These findings provide valuable insights into the lives and cultures of early Caribbean inhabitants, shedding light on their migration patterns and daily routines. The caves also serve as time capsules for paleoclimate research. Stalagmites and stalactites found in these underwater chambers contain detailed records of past climate conditions. By analyzing the chemical composition of these formations, scientists can reconstruct climate patterns spanning thousands of years, helping us understand long-term climate trends and their potential implications for our future. Perhaps most fascinating are the unique ecosystems thriving in these dark, isolated environments. Many caves house rare and endemic species found nowhere else on Earth. From blind cave fish that have evolved without eyes to colorless crustaceans adapted to life in perpetual darkness, these creatures offer valuable insights into the process of evolution and adaptation in extreme environments. The story of Lion City's submersion is a tale of modern development clashing with ancient history. Located in China's Zhejiang province, this once thriving metropolis now lies silent beneath the waters of Qiandao Lake. The city, originally known as Xicheng, was founded during the Eastern Han Dynasty nearly 2,000 years ago and earned its nickname Lion City due to the Lion Mountains that surrounded it. In the 1950s, the Chinese government embarked on an ambitious hydroelectric project to meet the growing energy demands of the region. They decided to create a man-made lake by damming the Jinan River, which would submerge a vast area, including Lion City. Despite its rich history and architectural significance, the city was evacuated, and its residents were relocated to make way for the project. In 1959, the waters began to rise. Slowly but inexorably, they engulfed the ancient streets, grand temples, and intricate stone carvings of Lion City. Within a few years, the entire city was submerged under more than 40 meters of water, creating what is now known as Qiandao Lake, or the Thousand Island Lake. Today, Lion City rests perfectly preserved in its watery grave. The lack of light and oxygen has helped maintain its structures, and divers who visit the submerged ruins report seeing intact wooden beams, ornate carvings, and even ancient scriptures. This underwater time capsule serves as a haunting reminder of the costs of progress and the hidden treasures that may lie beneath the surface of our modern world. The underwater ruins of Dwarka, located off the coast of Gujarat in India, have captivated archaeologists and historians for decades. This submerged city is believed by many to be the legendary home of Lord Krishna, a central figure in Hindu mythology. The discovery of these ruins has sparked intense debate about the age of Indian civilization and the possibility of advanced ancient societies. Marine archaeological explorations in the area have revealed a vast complex of structures beneath the waves. These include the remains of massive stone walls, pillars, and building foundations, suggesting a once thriving metropolis. Some of the artifacts recovered from the site, such as pottery shards and beads, have been dated back to around 1,500 to 3,500 years ago. However, the true age and nature of Dwarka remain subjects of ongoing research and speculation. Some researchers argue that the ruins could be much older, potentially dating back to before the end of the last ice age. This theory, if proven, would dramatically alter our understanding of ancient human civilization and its technological capabilities. The story of Dwarka continues to evolve as new discoveries are made. Its existence bridges the gap between mythology and archaeology, challenging us to reconsider the boundaries between legend and historical fact. As scientists continue to study these enigmatic ruins, the underwater city of Dwarka remains a testament to the rich cultural heritage and enduring mysteries of ancient India. Port Royal, once a thriving city on the coast of Jamaica, met a catastrophic fate on June 7, 1692. The bustling port, known as the wickedest city on earth, due to its reputation for piracy and debauchery, was struck by a powerful earthquake. This seismic event, estimated to have had a magnitude of 7.5, unleashed nature's fury upon the unsuspecting inhabitants. The earthquake's violent shaking caused a phenomenon known as liquefaction. The sandy soil beneath Port Royal suddenly behaved like a liquid, unable to support the weight of the buildings above. As a result, much of the city rapidly sank into the Caribbean Sea. Within minutes, about 33 acres of the town disappeared beneath the waves, swallowing buildings, streets, and unfortunate residents alike. Adding to the destruction, the earthquake triggered a tsunami. Massive waves crashed into the remaining portions of the city, sweeping away people and structures. The combination of liquefaction and tsunami waves was so swift that many people were trapped in buildings as they sank, leaving them little chance of escape. The disaster claimed the lives of an estimated 2,000 people, nearly half the city's population. Today, the submerged ruins of Port Royal lie beneath 40 feet of water, serving as a time capsule of 17th century life and a stark reminder of the immense power of geological forces. The sunken city continues to fascinate archaeologists and historians, offering valuable insights into the past and the ever-present potential for natural disasters to reshape our world. The underwater stone circles of Lake Michigan have puzzled archaeologists and historians since their discovery in 2007. Located about 40 feet below the surface of Grand Traverse Bay, these enigmatic structures consist of neatly arranged stones forming circular patterns on the lakebed. The largest circle measures nearly 30 feet in diameter and appears to have been carefully constructed by human hands. One of the most intriguing aspects of these formations is their age. Some researchers suggest they could be over 9,000 years old, potentially dating back to a time when the area was dry land due to lower water levels following the last ice age. This timeline would place their construction in the realm of ancient Native American cultures, long before European contact. Adding to the mystery is a boulder found within one of the circles that appears to have carvings resembling a mastodon, an elephant-like creature that went extinct around 10,000 years ago. If authentic, this carving would provide compelling evidence for the great antiquity of the site and offer a rare glimpse into the artistic expressions of early North American inhabitants. However, not all experts agree on the origins or significance of these underwater structures. Some argue they could be natural formations or the result of more recent human activity. The debate continues as researchers employ advanced underwater imaging techniques and archaeological methods to unravel the secrets hidden beneath the waves of Lake Michigan. The ancient city of Pavlopetri, located off the coast of southern Greece, sank beneath the waves thousands of years ago. This submerged wonder, often called the oldest underwater city in the world, fell victim to a combination of natural forces that reshaped the landscape over millennia. Geologists and archaeologists believe that the primary cause of Pavlopetri's sinking was a series of earthquakes and land subsidence. The region sits along an active fault line, making it prone to seismic activity. Over time, these earthquakes gradually caused the land to sink, slowly submerging the city beneath the Mediterranean Sea. Additionally, changes in sea level played a role in Pavlopetri's fate. As global temperatures fluctuated over thousands of years, ice sheets melted and reformed, causing sea levels to rise and fall. The combination of rising waters and sinking land eventually overtook the ancient city, preserving it in a watery time capsule. The process of submergence was likely gradual, occurring over centuries rather than as a sudden catastrophic event. This slow descent into the sea allowed for the remarkable preservation of Pavlopetri's streets, buildings, and tombs, providing archaeologists with a unique glimpse into life in a Bronze Age settlement. The underwater caves of the Yucatan Peninsula hold a treasure trove of secrets, offering a unique window into both ancient history and modern scientific discovery. These vast submerged cave systems, known as cenotes, were formed over millions of years as rainwater slowly dissolved the limestone bedrock, creating an intricate network of tunnels and caverns. One of the most intriguing aspects of these underwater caves is their role in preserving evidence of ancient Maya civilization. Divers have discovered remarkably well-preserved artifacts, including pottery, tools, and even human remains, some dating back over 10,000 years. These findings provide invaluable insights into Maya culture, religious practices, and daily life, helping archaeologists piece together the story of this ancient civilization. The caves also harbor important geological and climatological records. Stalactites and stalagmites found in these underwater caverns contain detailed information about past climate conditions, allowing scientists to reconstruct environmental changes over thousands of years. This data is crucial for understanding long-term climate patterns and their potential impact on our future. Perhaps most surprisingly, these underwater caves are home to unique ecosystems teeming with life. Specialized organisms have evolved to thrive in this dark, nutrient-poor environment, including blind cavefish, colorless crustaceans, and ancient bacteria that may hold clues to the origins of life on Earth. As exploration continues, scientists anticipate discovering even more previously unknown species, potentially revolutionizing our understanding of evolution and adaptation in extreme environments. The underwater city of Shicheng in China, often called the Lion City, became submerged as a result of human intervention rather than natural causes. In 1959, the Chinese government decided to construct the Shinan River Dam, creating a vast reservoir known as Qiandao Lake, or the Thousand Island Lake. This ambitious hydroelectric project was designed to power the growing industries in the region and provide a stable source of electricity. As the waters of the new reservoir began to rise, they gradually engulfed the ancient city of Shicheng. The city, which had stood for over 1,300 years, was slowly claimed by the rising waters. Within a matter of months, the once bustling streets, intricate architecture, and historical monuments were completely submerged, hidden beneath up to 40 meters of water. The flooding of Shicheng was not an unforeseen consequence, but a calculated decision. The government relocated the city's residents before the waters rose, preserving their lives but sacrificing their ancestral home. This deliberate submersion of an entire city showcases the complex relationship between progress and preservation, as well as the enormous scale of human-driven changes to our environment. Today, Shicheng rests peacefully at the bottom of Qiandao Lake, remarkably well preserved due to the lack of erosion and the relatively constant temperature of the water. Its submerged state has transformed it into an underwater time capsule, offering a unique glimpse into the architecture and daily life of ancient China for those who dare to explore its depths. The extinction of megafauna, large animals weighing over 1,000 kilograms, remains a topic of intense scientific debate. Several factors likely contributed to their demise around 11,000 years ago. Climate change played a significant role as the Earth transitioned from the last ice age. Rapid warming altered ecosystems and food sources, challenging these large animals' ability to adapt. Human hunting is another key factor in the megafauna extinction. As early humans spread across continents, their advanced hunting techniques and tools allowed them to target these massive creatures effectively. The megafauna, having evolved without human predators, lacked defensive strategies against this new threat. Disease might have also played a part in the extinction event. As humans and their domesticated animals migrated to new areas, they potentially introduced pathogens that the megafauna had never encountered before. These novel diseases could have spread rapidly among populations with no immunity. The combination of these factors created a perfect storm for megafauna extinction. Climate change stressed their populations, human hunting further reduced their numbers, and potential diseases weakened the survivors. This multifaceted assault on the megafauna led to their rapid decline and eventual disappearance from most parts of the world, forever changing the face of Earth's ecosystems. The journey of humans to the Americas is a fascinating tale of ancient migration. Most evidence points to the first arrivals occurring during the last ice age, roughly 20,000 years ago. At this time, massive ice sheets covered much of North America, locking up vast amounts of water and lowering sea levels worldwide. This drop in sea level exposed a land bridge between Asia and North America, now known as Beringia. This 1,000-mile-wide expanse of land connected Siberia to Alaska, providing a pathway for ancient peoples to cross from one continent to another. These early travelers were likely following herds of large animals, such as woolly mammoths and giant bison, which they hunted for food. However, the story of human arrival in the Americas is not as simple as a single migration event. Recent genetic and archaeological evidence suggests multiple waves of migration occurred over thousands of years. Some groups may have traveled along the Pacific coast in boats, navigating from one sheltered bay to another and gradually making their way south. As the Ice Age ended and sea levels rose, Beringia disappeared beneath the waves, cutting off this ancient migration route. The descendants of these early travelers spread across North and South America, adapting to diverse environments and eventually developing into the numerous indigenous cultures encountered by later European explorers. The discovery of human-like footprints on the Greek island of Crete, dating back approximately 5.7 million years, has sent shockwaves through the scientific community. These ancient impressions challenge our current understanding of human evolution and migration patterns, potentially rewriting the timeline of early human ancestors. Traditionally, scientists believed that human ancestors evolved exclusively in Africa, with the earliest bipedal hominins emerging around 4 million years ago. However, these Cretan footprints suggest that human-like creatures were walking upright in Europe nearly 2 million years earlier than previously thought. This finding raises intriguing questions about the origins and spread of our early ancestors. The footprints exhibit characteristics remarkably similar to those of modern humans, including a distinct ball of the foot, a big toe positioned in line with the other toes, and a well-defined arch. These features indicate that the creature that left these marks walked in a manner very similar to how we do today, implying a level of bipedalism previously unattributed to such an early period. If confirmed, this discovery could dramatically alter our view of human evolution. It suggests that either human ancestors left Africa much earlier than we thought, or that a separate lineage of bipedal apes evolved in Europe. Either scenario would require a significant reassessment of the current models of human origins and dispersal across the globe. The Toba catastrophe, a massive volcanic eruption that occurred approximately 75,000 years ago, posed a significant challenge to early human survival. This cataclysmic event, which took place on the island of Sumatra in present-day Indonesia, ejected an enormous amount of material into the atmosphere, causing global cooling and widespread environmental changes. Despite the severity of the Toba eruption, evidence suggests that early humans demonstrated remarkable resilience and adaptability. Archaeological findings indicate that human populations in Africa and Asia managed to persist through this challenging period. One key to their survival was likely their ability to exploit diverse food sources. As traditional plant and animal resources became scarce, early humans may have turned to alternative foods such as underground tubers and shellfish, which were less affected by the changing climate. Another crucial factor in human survival was the use of fire and advanced tool-making techniques. These technologies allowed our ancestors to stay warm, cook food, and create more efficient hunting implements. Additionally, the cognitive abilities of early humans, including problem-solving skills and the capacity for social cooperation, likely played a vital role in their ability to adapt to the harsh post-eruption environment. Interestingly, some researchers propose that the Toba catastrophe may have inadvertently contributed to human evolution by creating isolated pockets of survivors. This isolation could have accelerated genetic diversification and potentially spurred cognitive and technological advancements. While the full impact of the Toba eruption on human populations remains a subject of ongoing research, it is clear that our ancestors' ability to adapt and innovate in the face of extreme adversity was crucial to their survival and our existence today. The Clovis culture, a prehistoric Native American civilization that thrived across North America, vanished abruptly around 11,700 years ago. This sudden disappearance has puzzled archaeologists and scientists for decades, leading to various theories about its cause. One prominent hypothesis suggests that a cosmic impact event might have triggered the decline of the Clovis culture. Evidence of a large comet or asteroid strike has been found in sediment layers dating back to this period. Such an impact could have caused widespread environmental changes, including rapid cooling, wildfires, and the extinction of many large animal species that the Clovis people relied on for food. Another theory proposes that overhunting by the Clovis people themselves led to their downfall. As skilled hunters, they may have depleted populations of megafauna like mammoths and mastodons, leading to a shortage of food resources. This ecological imbalance could have forced the Clovis people to adapt or perish. Climate change is also considered a significant factor in the Clovis culture's disappearance. The end of the last ice age brought about dramatic shifts in temperature and precipitation patterns. These changes likely altered the distribution of plants and animals, disrupting the Clovis people's traditional way of life and forcing them to adapt or migrate to new areas. The journey of early humans to Australia is a remarkable tale of adaptation and exploration. Around 65,000 years ago, our ancestors embarked on a daring voyage across vast stretches of ocean, navigating treacherous waters to reach the shores of the Australian continent. These ancient mariners likely originated from Southeast Asia, using primitive watercraft such as rafts or canoes to island hop their way across the Indonesian archipelago. As sea levels were lower during this period, the distance between islands was shorter, creating a series of stepping stones that facilitated their passage. Despite the reduced distances, the final leg of the journey to Australia still required crossing open water for at least 70 kilometers. This feat demonstrates the impressive seafaring capabilities of our early ancestors and their ability to plan and execute long-distance maritime expeditions. Once they arrived on Australian shores, these early settlers faced new challenges. They had to adapt to unfamiliar environments, from arid deserts to tropical rainforests, and learn to utilize the unique flora and fauna of the continent. Their success in colonizing Australia speaks to the remarkable resilience and ingenuity of our species, setting the stage for tens of thousands of years of human habitation on this isolated landmass. The discovery of Homo sapiens fossils in Morocco revolutionized our understanding of human origins. In 2017, archaeologists unearthed remains at Jebel Irhout, a site that had previously yielded other ancient human fossils. These new finds were dated to approximately 300,000 years ago, pushing back the emergence of our species by over 100,000 years from previous estimates. The fossils included skulls, teeth, and long bones from at least 5 individuals. What made these remains particularly significant was their mixture of modern and archaic features. The face and lower jaw were similar to those of modern humans, but the brain case was elongated, resembling earlier human ancestors. This combination suggests that human evolution was a gradual, complex process occurring across Africa, rather than a sudden emergence in one specific region. These Moroccan fossils challenge the long-held view that Homo sapiens originated in East Africa around 200,000 years ago. They indicate that our species had a much wider distribution across Africa much earlier than previously thought. The discovery also aligns with genetic studies suggesting an earlier origin for our species. The tools found alongside the fossils provide insights into the cognitive abilities of these early humans. Stone tools showed signs of sophisticated craftsmanship, indicating advanced planning and problem-solving skills. This evidence supports the idea that the emergence of our species was tied to cognitive developments that allowed for more complex behaviors and technologies. The journey of early humans across the Wallace Line into Australia is a remarkable tale of ancient migration. Around 50,000 years ago, our ancestors embarked on a perilous voyage across vast stretches of open water. These intrepid explorers used primitive watercraft, likely rafts or basic boats, to navigate the treacherous seas separating Southeast Asia from the Australian continent. The Wallace Line, named after the naturalist Alfred Russel Wallace, marks a significant biogeographical boundary. It separates the ecosystems of Asia and Australia, running between Bali and Lombok, and continuing northward between Borneo and Sulawesi. Crossing this invisible barrier required not only courage, but also considerable planning and navigational skills. These early seafarers would have island-hopped their way across the Indonesian archipelago, taking advantage of lower sea levels during the last ice age. Even with these lower sea levels, they still faced water crossings of up to 100 kilometers. This feat is even more impressive considering they lacked modern navigation tools or detailed knowledge of their destination. Their successful crossing of the Wallace Line and settlement of Australia represents one of the earliest known examples of humans undertaking long sea voyages. This achievement demonstrates the ingenuity, adaptability, and adventurous spirit of our ancient ancestors, setting the stage for the global spread of humanity. The discovery of 2.1-million-year-old stone tools in China has revolutionized our understanding of early human migration and technological development. These ancient artifacts, unearthed at the Shangchen site in the Loess Plateau, push back the timeline of hominin presence in East Asia by hundreds of thousands of years. Previously, scientists believed that early humans left Africa and spread across Eurasia around 1.8 million years ago. However, this finding suggests that our ancestors were far more mobile and adaptable than we once thought. The tools indicate that early hominins had the capability to traverse long distances and adapt to various environments much earlier than previously believed. The stone tools found at Shangchen are simple but effective, consisting of flakes, cores, and hammers. Their presence implies that early humans possessed the cognitive abilities and manual dexterity to create and use tools for survival in diverse landscapes. This technological prowess likely played a crucial role in their successful expansion across the globe. Moreover, this discovery challenges existing theories about human evolution and dispersal. It prompts scientists to reevaluate the capabilities of early hominins and reconsider the routes and timelines of prehistoric human migrations. The Shangchen tools provide compelling evidence that our ancestors were exploring and settling in distant lands far earlier than we ever imagined, reshaping our understanding of human prehistory. The human adaptation to high-altitude living in Tibet is a remarkable example of rapid evolutionary change. Tibetans have lived on the Tibetan Plateau, with an average elevation of over 4,000 meters for thousands of years. This environment presents significant challenges, including low oxygen levels that can be life-threatening to those not adapted to such conditions. The key to Tibetan high-altitude adaptation lies in their unique genetic makeup. Over generations, Tibetans developed genetic variations that allow their bodies to use oxygen more efficiently. One crucial adaptation is a mutation in the EPAS1 gene, which regulates the body's response to low oxygen levels. This mutation helps Tibetans maintain lower hemoglobin levels compared to other high-altitude populations, reducing the risk of blood thickening and related health issues. Interestingly, this genetic adaptation appears to have occurred relatively recently in evolutionary terms, within the last 3,000 to 6,000 years. The speed of this adaptation is attributed to strong natural selection pressures in the harsh, high-altitude environment. Those individuals with beneficial genetic variations were more likely to survive and reproduce, rapidly spreading these traits throughout the population. Tibetan high-altitude adaptation also involves other physiological changes, such as increased lung capacity and more efficient breathing patterns. These adaptations collectively allow Tibetans to thrive in an environment that would be challenging for most humans, showcasing the remarkable ability of our species to adapt to extreme conditions. Ancient civilizations developed remarkable methods to predict solar eclipses, showcasing their astronomical prowess. The Babylonians, in particular, made significant strides in eclipse prediction through meticulous observation and record-keeping. They discovered a pattern known as the Saros cycle, which occurs approximately every 18 years and 11 days. During this cycle, the Sun, Moon, and Earth return to nearly identical positions, allowing for similar eclipse events to occur. The ancient Greeks further refined these predictions. Notably, Thales of Miletus is credited with successfully forecasting a solar eclipse in 585 BCE. His method likely involved combining Babylonian records with Greek geometric models of celestial movements. This blend of empirical data and theoretical understanding marked a significant leap in predictive astronomy. Chinese astronomers also made substantial contributions to eclipse prediction. They developed the Siphon calendar, which divided the year into quarters and helped track celestial events with increased accuracy. By the time of the Han Dynasty, Chinese astronomers could predict solar eclipses with remarkable precision, often alerting the imperial court well in advance. These ancient methods, while not as precise as modern techniques, demonstrate the ingenuity and dedication of early astronomers. Their work laid the foundation for our current understanding of celestial mechanics and continues to inspire awe in the predictability of cosmic events. The Nebra Sky Disk stands as one of the most remarkable archaeological finds of the 20th century. Discovered in Germany in 1999, this bronze disk dates back to the European Bronze Age, approximately 3,600 years ago. Its significance lies in being the oldest known concrete depiction of cosmic phenomena in human history. This extraordinary artifact, measuring about 30 centimeters in diameter, is adorned with gold symbols representing celestial bodies and events. It showcases the Sun, a crescent moon, and a cluster of stars, including a group that likely represents the Pleiades. The disk also features two golden arcs along the edges, marking the angles between the summer and winter solstice sunsets. The Nebra Sky Disk provides invaluable insights into Bronze Age astronomy and religious beliefs. It suggests that European societies of that era possessed sophisticated knowledge of celestial movements and their connection to annual cycles. This understanding was crucial for agriculture and religious practices, highlighting the disk's role in both practical and spiritual aspects of Bronze Age life. Moreover, the Nebra Sky Disk serves as tangible evidence of long-distance trade and cultural exchange in prehistoric Europe. The gold used in its creation has been traced to Cornwall in England, while the copper originated from Austria, illustrating the extensive trade networks that existed over 3.5 millennia ago. This remarkable object continues to reshape our understanding of prehistoric European societies and their cosmic awareness. The Mayas' remarkable astronomical precision stemmed from their meticulous observations and record-keeping over centuries. They built specialized observatories and developed sophisticated mathematical systems to track celestial movements. Their priests and astronomers dedicated their lives to studying the night sky, passing knowledge down through generations. Central to their calculations was the long count calendar, a complex system that allowed them to record and predict astronomical events with astonishing accuracy. This calendar, combined with their vigesimal number system, enabled them to perform complex calculations and track long cycles of time. The Maya used these tools to predict solar and lunar eclipses, the movements of Venus, and other planetary cycles. They achieved this without telescopes or modern instruments, relying instead on naked-eye observations and cumulative knowledge. Their understanding of celestial patterns was so advanced that they could predict astronomical events centuries into the future. This astronomical knowledge wasn't just academic, it was deeply intertwined with Maya religion, agriculture, and daily life. The precision of their calculations helped them determine the best times for planting, harvesting, and religious ceremonies, showcasing the practical applications of their celestial observations. The astronomical alignments at Chaco Canyon serve as a testament to the advanced knowledge and celestial observations of the ancient Puebloan people. These alignments, incorporated into the architecture and layout of the canyon structures, demonstrate a sophisticated understanding of celestial movements and their connection to seasonal changes. The primary purpose of these alignments was to track important celestial events, particularly the movements of the sun and moon. By aligning buildings and windows with specific points on the horizon, the Chakuns could mark solstices, equinoxes, and lunar standstills. This allowed them to create a precise calendar system, crucial for agricultural planning and religious ceremonies. One notable example is the Sun Dagger site on Fajada Butte, where spiral petroglyphs interact with shafts of sunlight to mark the solstices and equinoxes. This sophisticated solar marker demonstrates the Chacoans' ability to combine art, architecture, and astronomy for practical and ceremonial purposes. The astronomical alignments also likely held deep cultural and spiritual significance. By connecting their earthly dwellings to the cosmos, the Chacoans may have sought to harmonize their society with the greater universe, reinforcing their beliefs and worldview through these monumental constructions. The ancient Egyptians achieved remarkable astronomical precision in aligning their pyramids through a combination of careful observation, advanced mathematical knowledge, and ingenious engineering techniques. Their method primarily relied on the stars, particularly the circumpolar stars that never set below the horizon. One key technique involved using a tool called a merket, which was essentially a plumb bob suspended from a wooden frame. By aligning two merkets along the North Star, the Egyptians could establish a nearly perfect north-south axis. This process, known as stellar alignment, allowed them to orient the pyramid's base with astonishing accuracy. The Egyptians also employed a technique called the stretching of the cord ceremony. This ritual involved stretching a rope between two poles and aligning it with the shadow cast by the sun at specific times. By repeating this process and making minute adjustments, they could achieve an incredibly precise orientation. Furthermore, the ancient Egyptians' understanding of geometry and their ability to create right angles using knotted ropes contributed to the pyramid's accurate alignment. These combined methods resulted in structures that were aligned to true north with an error margin of less than half a degree, a feat that continues to impress modern scientists and engineers. Newgrange, an ancient monument in Ireland, stands as a testament to our ancestors' deep connection with the cosmos. This prehistoric structure, built over 5,000 years ago, predates even the pyramids of Egypt and Stonehenge in England. Its most remarkable feature is its precise alignment with the winter solstice sunrise, demonstrating the advanced astronomical knowledge of its Neolithic builders. The main passage and chamber of Newgrange are designed to align perfectly with the rising sun on the winter solstice. On this day, the shortest of the year, a beam of light penetrates the roof box above the entrance and gradually extends to illuminate the inner chamber. This event lasts for about 17 minutes, bathing the ancient artwork inside with golden light. This alignment suggests that the builders of Newgrange had a sophisticated understanding of the solar year and could predict the solstice with remarkable accuracy. It indicates that these ancient people were keen observers of celestial events and incorporated this knowledge into their monumental architecture. The precision required to create this effect speaks volumes about their mathematical and engineering skills. The astronomical significance of Newgrange goes beyond mere practicality. It likely held deep spiritual and symbolic meaning for its creators, possibly marking the beginning of a new year or serving as a powerful connection between the earthly and celestial realms. This blend of scientific knowledge and spiritual significance showcases the complex worldview of our ancient ancestors and their profound relationship with the rhythms of the universe. The ancient builders of Stonehenge demonstrated a remarkable understanding of celestial movements, particularly the cycles of the moon. They ingeniously incorporated lunar alignments into the monument's design, creating a structure that served as both a spiritual center and an astronomical calendar. The placement of the stones at Stonehenge aligns with key lunar events, including the northernmost and southernmost risings of the moon. These extreme positions, known as lunar standstills, occur every 18.5 years. The builders positioned specific stones to frame these lunar risings, allowing observers to track and predict the moon's complex cycle. Furthermore, the number of stones used in various parts of Stonehenge appears to correspond with lunar cycles. For instance, the 56 Aubrey holes, circular pits located around the inner edge of the bank, may have been used to predict lunar eclipses. By moving markers around these holes, ancient astronomers could have tracked the moon's movements and anticipated eclipses with impressive accuracy. The lunar alignments at Stonehenge weren't just for astronomical observation. They likely held deep religious and cultural significance. The ability to predict lunar cycles and eclipses would have been seen as a powerful connection to the cosmos, enhancing the site's importance as a ceremonial center. This integration of astronomical knowledge into monumental architecture showcases the sophisticated understanding our ancestors had of the night sky. The Antikythera mechanism stands as a remarkable testament to ancient Greek ingenuity and astronomical knowledge. This complex device, often called the world's first analog computer, was capable of predicting celestial events with astonishing accuracy. Its astronomical functions were far ahead of their time, demonstrating a sophisticated understanding of the cosmos that many believed did not exist until centuries later. One of the most significant aspects of the mechanism was its ability to track the movements of the sun, moon, and planets known at the time. It could predict solar and lunar eclipses, calculate the phases of the moon, and even account for the irregular orbit of the moon, known as the first lunar anomaly. This level of precision in astronomical calculations was unprecedented for its era, dating back to around 100 to 200 BCE. The device also incorporated the Metonic cycle, a 19-year period after which the phases of the moon recur on the same day of the year. This feature allowed for accurate long-term predictions of lunar events, which were crucial for ancient Greek religious and civic calendars. Additionally, the mechanism could compute the timing of various Pan-Hellenic games, including the ancient Olympic Games. The astronomical functions of the Antikythera mechanism reveal that the ancient Greeks possessed a far more advanced understanding of celestial mechanics than previously thought. It challenges our perceptions of ancient technological capabilities and suggests that similar devices may have existed, but were lost to time. The mechanism's significance lies not only in its impressive functions, but also in how it reshapes our understanding of ancient scientific knowledge and technological sophistication. Ancient Polynesians were master navigators who used the stars as their celestial compass, allowing them to traverse vast stretches of the Pacific Ocean with remarkable accuracy. Their navigation techniques were based on a deep understanding of celestial movements and patterns developed over generations of careful observation and passed down through oral tradition. These skilled seafarers recognized that stars rise and set at specific points on the horizon, which remain constant throughout the year. They used these rising and setting points as directional markers, creating a mental map of the night sky. The Polynesians identified key stars and constellations, such as the Southern Cross and Orion, to determine their latitude and maintain their course across the open ocean. One of their most ingenious techniques was the use of star paths, known as kavenga in some Polynesian languages. Navigators would memorize the sequence of stars that would rise or set in the same spot on the horizon where their destination island would be. By following this celestial path, they could sail directly to islands beyond the horizon, even if they had never visited them before. Polynesian navigators also combined their stellar observations with other natural signs, including ocean swells, wind patterns, and the behavior of seabirds. This holistic approach to navigation allowed them to undertake long voyages with confidence, leading to the settlement of remote islands across the Pacific and demonstrating the remarkable capabilities of these ancient seafarers. The astronomical alignments at Göbekli Tepe continue to intrigue archaeologists and astronomers alike. This ancient site, located in modern-day Turkey, dates back to around 10,000 years before the present, making it one of the oldest known examples of monumental architecture in human history. The massive stone pillars at Göbekli Tepe are arranged in circular patterns, and some researchers believe these arrangements have deliberate astronomical significance. One theory suggests that certain pillars align with the rising of Sirius, the brightest star in the night sky. This alignment might have been used to track the passage of time or mark important seasonal events. Another hypothesis proposes that the structures at Göbekli Tepe were designed to observe and possibly predict celestial phenomena, such as equinoxes or solstices. This knowledge could have been crucial for early agricultural societies, helping them determine the best times for planting and harvesting crops. However, it is important to note that the exact purpose of these alignments remains a subject of debate among experts. While the astronomical connections are intriguing, they are not conclusively proven. The site may have served multiple purposes, combining religious, social, and astronomical functions in ways we are still working to understand. The vitrification of ancient hill forts in Scotland remains a fascinating mystery that continues to intrigue archaeologists and historians. These structures, dating back to the Iron Age, exhibit signs of intense heat that fused stones together, creating glass-like surfaces. This process, known as vitrification, requires temperatures exceeding 1,000 degrees Celsius, far beyond what typical fires could achieve. Several theories attempt to explain this phenomenon. One suggests that the vitrification was an intentional process, perhaps to strengthen the walls of these fortifications. However, experiments have shown that vitrification actually weakens the structural integrity of stone walls, casting doubt on this hypothesis. Another theory proposes that these forts were destroyed by enemy attacks, with the intense heat caused by prolonged siege fires. This explanation aligns with evidence of warfare found at some sites, but it fails to account for the extreme temperatures required for vitrification. A more recent hypothesis suggests that the vitrification might have been the result of ancient experimentation with metallurgy or other high-temperature industrial processes. However, the exact cause remains elusive, and the vitrified forts of Scotland continue to be a source of scientific debate and archaeological investigation. For decades, the mysterious movement of large rocks across the flat, dry lakebed of Racetrack Playa in Death Valley National Park puzzled scientists and visitors alike. These sailing stones, some weighing hundreds of pounds, left long trails behind them, yet no one had ever witnessed them in motion. The answer to this enigma was finally uncovered in 2014 through careful observation and the use of modern technology. Researchers discovered that the stones move under a unique set of circumstances that occur only rarely in Death Valley. During winter, when temperatures drop, rain can collect on the playa, forming a shallow pond. As night falls and temperatures plummet further, this water freezes, creating a vast, thin sheet of ice. When morning comes and the ice begins to melt, it breaks into large panels that float atop a thin layer of water. Driven by light winds, these ice sheets push against the rocks, causing them to slide across the muddy surface of the playa. The rocks move only a few inches per second, which explains why the phenomenon had never been observed directly before the study. This slow, steady movement over time creates the long trails that had mystified observers for so long. The perfectly spherical stones of Costa Rica, known as the stone spheres of Costa Rica, or Las Bolas, are a fascinating archaeological mystery. These ancient artifacts, found mainly in the Diquís Delta region, were created by the pre-Columbian indigenous people of Costa Rica between 500 and 2,500 years ago. The process of creating these remarkably round stones involved careful selection of raw materials and skillful craftsmanship. The ancient artisans likely chose large boulders of igneous rock, such as granodiorite, and meticulously shaped them using smaller stones as hammers and chisels. They gradually chipped away at the rock, refining its shape over time until they achieved an almost perfect spherical form. What makes these stones truly remarkable is their precision. Some of the largest spheres measure up to 2 meters in diameter and weigh up to 16 tons, yet they deviate from a perfect sphere by only a few centimeters. This level of accuracy is astounding, considering the limited tools available to the ancient craftsmen. The purpose of these stone spheres remains a subject of debate among archaeologists. Some theories suggest they were used for astronomical observations, as territorial markers, or as symbols of social status. Regardless of their original function, the stone spheres of Costa Rica stand as a testament to the ingenuity and skill of ancient civilizations, challenging our understanding of prehistoric engineering capabilities. The Risha structure, also known as the Eye of the Sahara, is a striking geological feature located in the Sahara Desert near Ouaddain, Mauritania. This circular formation, spanning about 40 kilometers in diameter, has long captivated scientists and observers alike. Initially thought to be an impact crater, researchers now understand that the Rishat structure formed through a complex process of geological uplift and erosion. The structure began to take shape approximately 600 million years ago, when molten rock pushed up from deep within the earth, causing the overlying layers of sedimentary rock to dome upward. Over millions of years, erosion gradually wore away the softer rock layers, exposing the more resistant circular bands of rock we see today. These concentric rings are composed of different types of rock, including breccia, quartzite, and various sedimentary formations, each eroding at different rates to create the eye-like appearance. The Risha structure serves as a testament to the immense forces at work beneath the Earth's surface and the persistent power of erosion over geological timescales. Its unique formation and appearance continue to draw scientific interest, offering insights into the geological history of the region and the processes that shape our planet's surface. The Klerksdorp spheres, found in South Africa, have intrigued scientists and the public alike for decades. These small, spherical objects, typically ranging from 1 to 4 centimeters in diameter, have sparked numerous theories about their origin. However, contrary to some sensational claims, their formation has a natural explanation rooted in geological processes. Geologists have determined that the Klerksdorp spheres are not artificial objects, but rather concretions. These concretions formed within ancient volcanic sediments known as pyrophyllite, which dates back approximately 3 billion years. The spheres developed through a process called concentric accretion, where minerals gradually accumulated around a central core over millions of years. The distinctive grooves and ridges on some of the spheres, which have led to speculation about their artificial nature, are actually the result of natural weathering processes. As the softer surrounding rock eroded away, the harder mineral concretions were exposed, revealing their spherical shape and surface features. While the Klerksdorp spheres may appear unusual, they are not unique. Similar concretions have been found in various locations around the world, all formed through comparable geological processes. Their formation serves as a testament to the remarkable ability of natural forces to create seemingly perfect geometric shapes over vast periods of time. The giant crystal caves of Naka in Mexico are a testament to the extraordinary geological processes that occur deep within our planet. These remarkable formations began their journey around 26 million years ago, when a magma chamber formed beneath the mountain. This intense heat source warmed the groundwater, saturating it with minerals, particularly calcium sulfate. As the mineral-rich water filled underground chambers, it cooled extremely slowly over hundreds of thousands of years. This gradual cooling allowed for the formation of enormous selenite crystals, some reaching lengths of up to 36 feet and weighing as much as 55 tons. The consistent temperature of around 58 degrees Celsius in the caves was crucial for the crystals to grow to such massive proportions. The caves remained submerged and isolated until the year 2000, when miners accidentally discovered them while excavating a new tunnel. The combination of mineral-rich water, stable temperatures, and an exceptionally long period of undisturbed growth resulted in the formation of these awe-inspiring crystal structures. These crystal caves serve as a reminder of the hidden wonders that exist beneath the surface of our planet, formed through processes that span millions of years. Their discovery has provided scientists with valuable insights into crystal formation and the geological history of the region. The Marfa Lights, observed near the town of Marfa in West Texas, have puzzled observers for generations. These enigmatic glowing orbs appear in the night sky, seeming to dance and move in inexplicable patterns. Despite numerous investigations, scientists have not reached a definitive conclusion about their origin. Several theories attempt to explain the Marfa Lights phenomenon. One popular scientific explanation suggests that these lights are a result of atmospheric refraction. This occurs when layers of air with different temperatures bend light from distant sources, such as car headlights or ranch lights, creating the illusion of mysterious floating orbs. Another hypothesis proposes that the lights might be caused by piezoelectric effects. This theory suggests that the quartz crystals abundant in the area generate electrical charges under pressure, potentially creating visible light displays. Some researchers have also considered the possibility of bioluminescent organisms or plasma formations caused by geological activity. While these scientific explanations offer plausible causes, the Marfa Lights continue to captivate the imagination of locals and visitors alike. The enduring mystery surrounding these lights has made them a popular attraction, drawing curious observers to witness this unusual spectacle firsthand. The Meraki boulders, found along Kakohe Beach on New Zealand's South Island, are a fascinating geological phenomenon that has captivated visitors for generations. These large, spherical stones, some reaching up to 2 meters in diameter, have a truly remarkable origin story that spans millions of years. These boulders began forming on the ancient seafloor around 60 million years ago, during the early Paleocene epoch. They started as small accumulations of calcium carbonate, forming around a central core such as a fossil shell or piece of wood. Over time, these initial deposits grew larger through a process called concretion, where minerals in the surrounding muddy sediments were drawn to the growing stones, gradually building up in layers. As millions of years passed, these concretions continued to grow while buried deep in the mudstone seafloor. The outer layers of the boulders developed a distinctive polygonal pattern of cracks, which later filled with calcite and quartz, creating the intricate network of veins visible on many of the boulders today. Eventually, geological processes lifted the seafloor, exposing the mudstone cliffs to coastal erosion. As the softer mudstone wore away, it revealed the harder, more resistant boulders. This ongoing erosion continues to expose new boulders, allowing us to witness a geological process that began tens of millions of years ago, right before our eyes on the beach. The blood falls in Antarctica are a striking natural phenomenon caused by a unique combination of geological and biological factors. This unusual feature is found at the terminus of the Taylor Glacier in the McMurdo Dry Valleys of East Antarctica. The vivid red color that gives the falls their name comes from iron-rich saltwater that seeps from deep within the glacier. The origin of this iron-rich water dates back millions of years when the Taylor Valley was flooded by seawater. As the climate cooled, a glacier formed over the seawater, trapping a pocket of this ancient ocean beneath the ice. Over time, the trapped water became increasingly saline and rich in iron as it interacted with the underlying bedrock. This subglacial lake remains liquid despite the extreme cold due to its high salt content, which lowers its freezing point. The pressure from the overlying glacier forces this iron-rich brine to the surface through small fissures in the ice. When the liquid emerges and comes into contact with the air, the iron oxidizes, creating the striking red color reminiscent of blood. Remarkably, this harsh environment is not devoid of life. Scientists have discovered that the subglacial lake contains a unique ecosystem of microbes that have adapted to survive in the dark, cold, and oxygen-poor conditions. These microorganisms play a crucial role in the chemical processes that contribute to the distinctive properties of the blood falls, demonstrating the incredible adaptability of life even in the most extreme environments on our planet. The hexagonal basalt columns of the Giant's Causeway in Northern Ireland are a testament to the incredible forces that shape our planet. These striking geological formations were created by volcanic activity around 60 million years ago, during a period of intense geological upheaval. The process began with massive volcanic eruptions that flooded the area with molten basalt lava. As this lava cooled and solidified, it contracted and fractured in a distinctive pattern. The cooling process started from both the top and bottom of the lava flow, with the cracks propagating toward the center. This uniform cooling caused the rock to split into polygonal shapes, with the hexagonal form being the most efficient and stable configuration. The size of these columns was determined by the rate of cooling. Slower cooling resulted in larger columns, while faster cooling produced smaller ones. At the Giant's Causeway, most columns are about 12 meters tall and half a meter wide, though some reach heights of nearly 40 meters. What makes the Giant's Causeway particularly remarkable is the extent and regularity of these formations. Approximately 40,000 interlocking basalt columns create a natural pavement that stretches along the coast and disappears into the sea, fueling legends and capturing the imagination of visitors from around the world. The Piri Reis map, created in 1513 by Ottoman admiral and cartographer Piri Reis, has long been a subject of fascination and controversy. While some claim it accurately depicts Antarctica before its official discovery, this interpretation is not supported by mainstream scholarship. The map does show a landmass in the southern Atlantic Ocean, which some have interpreted as Antarctica. However, this identification is problematic for several reasons. First, the map does not actually show a continent resembling Antarctica in its correct position or shape. The landmass depicted is likely a misrepresentation of South America's southern coast, possibly combined with the hypothetical Terra Australis that many cartographers of the time included in their maps. Moreover, the map was created using various sources, including earlier maps and accounts from sailors. Piri Reis himself noted that he used about 20 maps and charts, including some dating back to the time of Alexander the Great. This compilation of sources explains why some parts of the map are remarkably accurate, while others are distorted or misplaced. It's important to note that Antarctica was not officially discovered until 1820, more than 300 years after the Piri Reis map was created. The idea that the map shows an ice-free Antarctic coastline is based on modern fringe theories rather than historical or cartographic evidence. While the Piri Reis map is indeed an impressive and important historical document, its alleged depiction of Antarctica is a misinterpretation of its content and context. Ancient Polynesians were master navigators who traversed enormous stretches of the Pacific Ocean using a sophisticated set of techniques and observations. Their primary method relied on reading the stars, which served as a celestial map guiding their voyages across thousands of miles of open water. These skilled seafarers memorized the positions of hundreds of stars, understanding how their locations changed with the seasons and at different latitudes. Equally important was their ability to read the ocean itself. Polynesian navigators could detect the presence of distant islands by observing changes in ocean swells, wave patterns, and currents. They noted how islands could affect these patterns for miles around, creating a sort of shadow in the water that experienced navigators could sense. These ancient mariners also paid close attention to the behavior of seabirds, knowing that certain species only flew so far from land before returning. The presence of particular birds could indicate the direction and distance of nearby islands. Additionally, they observed cloud formations, knowing that clouds often gathered differently over islands than over open ocean. Polynesian voyagers also used their knowledge of wind patterns and seasonal changes to plan their journeys. They constructed sturdy outrigger canoes capable of sailing long distances and developed a mental map of the Pacific, passing down knowledge of island locations and navigation techniques through oral traditions and practical training. This combination of celestial navigation, ocean reading, and keen observation of natural phenomena allowed ancient Polynesians to become some of the most accomplished navigators in human history. Vikings were master seafarers who developed ingenious methods to navigate the vast oceans without modern instruments like compasses. They relied heavily on their keen observation skills and deep understanding of nature to guide their longships across treacherous waters. One of their primary navigation tools was the sun compass, a wooden disc with a central gnomon. By tracking the shadow cast by the gnomon at different times of day, Vikings could determine their direction with remarkable accuracy. They also used the North Star, Polaris, as a fixed point of reference during night voyages, allowing them to maintain their course even in darkness. Vikings were astute observers of their environment, noting the behavior of birds, the color and temperature of seawater, and the patterns of waves and currents. They understood that certain species of birds would fly towards land at specific times, helping them locate nearby shores. The presence of whales or specific types of seaweed also indicated proximity to land. Perhaps most impressively, Vikings created detailed mental maps of their routes, memorizing landmarks, currents, and wind patterns. They passed this knowledge down through generations, developing a rich oral tradition of navigation lore that enabled them to undertake long voyages with confidence. This combination of natural observation, celestial navigation, and accumulated knowledge allowed Vikings to explore and trade across vast distances, reaching as far as North America centuries before other Europeans. The Boache map, created by French geographer Philippe Boache in 1749, has sparked considerable interest and debate in both scientific and alternative history circles. This map appears to depict Antarctica as two separate land masses without ice cover, a representation that seems to contradict our current understanding of Antarctic geography. The significance of this map lies in its potential implications for our knowledge of Antarctic exploration and cartography. If the map were indeed based on accurate information, it would suggest that explorers had detailed knowledge of Antarctica's coastline and geography long before the continent's official discovery in 1820. This would dramatically alter our timeline of Antarctic exploration and raise questions about ancient seafaring capabilities. However, mainstream scientists and historians generally view the Boache map with skepticism. They argue that the map's depiction of Antarctica is likely based on speculation rather than actual exploration. Boache was known for his theoretical geography, often making educated guesses about unknown regions based on limited information and logical deductions. The map's significance also extends to discussions about potential ancient civilizations and lost knowledge. Some alternative researchers suggest the map could be evidence of advanced ancient societies with the capability to accurately map Antarctica before it was covered in ice. While these theories are not accepted by the scientific community, they continue to fuel fascinating debates about human history and the extent of ancient geographical knowledge. Ancient Egyptians were remarkable cartographers, developing sophisticated mapping techniques that were far ahead of their time. Their ability to create accurate maps stemmed from a combination of advanced mathematical knowledge, astronomical observations, and practical surveying skills. The Egyptians used a tool called a merkit, a plumb bob suspended on a string, to establish straight lines and right angles. This simple yet effective device allowed them to create precise geometric layouts for buildings and accurately measure distances on the ground. They also employed a tool called a gnomon, essentially a vertical stick that cast shadows to determine cardinal directions and track the movement of celestial bodies. Egyptian surveyors developed a standardized unit of measurement called the cubit, based on the length of a forearm. This consistent measurement system, along with their understanding of geometry, enabled them to create scaled representations of land features and structures. They further refined their maps by using a grid system, dividing the land into squares to better represent distances and proportions. The Nile River played a crucial role in Egyptian cartography. Annual floods would erase property boundaries, necessitating regular land surveys. This constant need for remapping honed the Egyptian skills and led to increasingly accurate depictions of their territory. Their maps not only showed physical features, but also included important economic and administrative information, making them valuable tools for governance and trade. The ancient Phoenicians were renowned seafarers who accomplished remarkable voyages, including circumnavigating Africa. Their navigation techniques were a blend of careful observation, accumulated knowledge, and ingenious methods. One key technique was celestial navigation. The Phoenicians closely studied the stars and constellations, using them as guideposts to determine their position and direction. They paid particular attention to the North Star, which remained constant in the night sky and helped them maintain their course. The Phoenicians also relied heavily on coastal navigation. They were expert observers of coastlines, memorizing distinct features like headlands, bays, and mountain profiles. This allowed them to recognize their location and navigate along familiar shores. When venturing into unknown waters, they would carefully map new coastlines, creating detailed sailing instructions known as periploi. Wind and current patterns were another crucial element of Phoenician navigation. They understood how prevailing winds and ocean currents behaved in different seasons, using this knowledge to plan their routes and timing. This expertise, combined with their advanced shipbuilding techniques, allowed the Phoenicians to undertake long voyages and explore new territories, ultimately leading to their successful circumnavigation of Africa. The Antikythera mechanism, an ancient Greek analog computer, was not primarily used for navigation as we might think of it today. Instead, this remarkable device served as a complex astronomical calculator, helping ancient mariners and astronomers predict celestial events and track time with astonishing accuracy. Discovered in a shipwreck off the coast of the Greek island Antikythera in 1901, this intricate bronze mechanism dates back to around 100 to 200 before the Common Era. Its sophisticated system of gears and dials could calculate and display the positions of the sun, moon, and planets, as well as predict solar and lunar eclipses. For ancient seafarers, understanding celestial movements was crucial for timekeeping and determining their location at sea. The Antikythera mechanism allowed them to plan voyages based on lunar phases, which affected tides and sailing conditions. It also helped them calculate important religious and civic dates, ensuring they could participate in festivals and events even while far from home. While not a navigational tool in the modern sense, the Antikythera mechanism represents an extraordinary leap in ancient technology. Its ability to model the cosmos with such precision demonstrates the advanced mathematical and engineering skills of its creators, challenging our perceptions of ancient scientific knowledge and capabilities. The Xenomap is a cartographic enigma that has puzzled historians and geographers for centuries. This controversial map, purportedly created in the late 14th century, depicts a vast expanse of the North Atlantic, including what appears to be accurate representations of Greenland and other northern lands. The map's story begins with two Venetian brothers, Niccolo and Antonio Zeno, who claimed to have embarked on a series of voyages to the North Atlantic. According to their account, they encountered advanced civilizations and explored regions far beyond the known world of their time. The map, along with accompanying letters describing their adventures, was published in 1558 by a descendant of the Zeno family. What makes the Xenomap particularly intriguing is its apparent accuracy in depicting certain geographical features that were not officially discovered until much later. This has led some researchers to speculate that the Zeno brothers might have reached North America nearly a century before Christopher Columbus. However, many scholars argue that the map is a clever forgery, created using information from later explorations and designed to establish Venetian primacy in North Atlantic exploration. Debate continues over the authenticity of the Zeno map. While some see it as evidence of pre-Columbian European contact with North America, others view it as an elaborate hoax. Regardless of its true origins, the Zeno map remains a fascinating artifact that challenges our understanding of medieval exploration and cartography. Ancient Chinese astronomers achieved remarkable precision in their star charts through a combination of meticulous observation, advanced instruments, and centuries of accumulated knowledge. They developed sophisticated tools like the armillary sphere, which allowed them to measure celestial coordinates with impressive accuracy. This device consisted of rings representing important celestial circles, enabling astronomers to track the positions of stars and planets over time. The Chinese also practiced patient, long-term observation. Astronomy was considered a crucial imperial science, and generations of court astronomers kept detailed records of celestial events. This continuity allowed for the refinement of star positions over many years, leading to increasingly accurate charts. Another factor contributing to their precision was the Chinese calendar system, which required exact astronomical calculations. This drove astronomers to continually improve their methods and instruments. They also developed mathematical techniques to predict celestial movements, further enhancing the accuracy of their charts. The cultural importance of astronomy in ancient China cannot be overstated. It was seen as essential for governance and understanding the cosmos, leading to significant resources being devoted to this field. This sustained focus over centuries allowed Chinese astronomers to create star charts that were among the most precise in the ancient world. The ancient Minoans, who flourished on the island of Crete from around 3000 to 1400 BCE, were renowned for their maritime prowess and extensive sea trade networks. These skilled seafarers employed several navigation methods to traverse the Mediterranean waters safely and efficiently. One of their primary navigation techniques involved celestial observation. The Minoans carefully studied the positions and movements of stars, particularly the North Star, to determine their direction and maintain course during nighttime voyages. They likely used simple yet effective tools like the gnomon, a vertical stick that cast shadows to track the sun's position during the day and estimate their latitude. Coastal navigation played a crucial role in Minoan seafaring. They relied heavily on their intimate knowledge of coastlines, landmarks, and the behavior of local winds and currents. This method, often called pilotage, allowed them to navigate safely near shores and through familiar island chains. The Minoans also developed detailed mental maps of trade routes, passing this knowledge down through generations of sailors. The Minoans likely utilized other natural signs to aid their navigation. They would have observed the behavior of seabirds, the color and movement of water, and the presence of certain types of clouds to gather information about nearby land masses or impending weather changes. This holistic approach to navigation, combining celestial observation, coastal familiarity, and natural signs, enabled the Minoans to establish and maintain their extensive maritime trade network across the Mediterranean. The Younger Dryas cooling event, which occurred approximately 12,800 years ago, remains a subject of intense scientific debate. This abrupt period of cooling disrupted the gradual warming trend that was occurring as Earth emerged from the last ice age. One leading theory suggests that the Younger Dryas was triggered by a massive influx of fresh water into the North Atlantic Ocean. This fresh water is thought to have come from the rapid melting of North American ice sheets, particularly the Laurentide ice sheet. The surge of cold, fresh water into the ocean potentially disrupted the Atlantic meridional overturning circulation, a crucial component of global ocean currents that helps distribute heat around the planet. Another hypothesis proposes that the Younger Dryas was caused by an extraterrestrial impact. Proponents of this theory point to geological evidence of a possible comet or asteroid strike, including elevated levels of platinum and other rare elements found in sediments from this time period. Such an impact could have caused widespread fires and injected large amounts of dust and aerosols into the atmosphere, leading to global cooling. Some researchers have also suggested that volcanic activity might have played a role in triggering or intensifying the Younger Dryas. Large-scale eruptions can release significant amounts of sulfur dioxide and other particles into the atmosphere, reflecting sunlight and causing temporary cooling effects. However, the exact mechanisms and interplay of these potential factors remain areas of ongoing research and scientific inquiry. The medieval warm period, which occurred roughly between 900 and 1300 CE, had significant impacts on human civilization, particularly in Europe and North America. This period of increased temperatures allowed for agricultural expansion and population growth in many regions. In Northern Europe, previously inhospitable areas became suitable for farming, leading to increased food production and a subsequent population boom. The warmer climate enabled the Vikings to explore and settle in Greenland and even parts of North America, expanding their influence across the North Atlantic. The favorable conditions also contributed to economic prosperity. Longer growing seasons and more abundant harvests led to increased trade and urbanization. Many of Europe's great cathedrals were built during this time, reflecting the wealth and resources available to societies benefiting from the milder climate. However, the effects were not uniformly positive. Some regions experienced increased drought, particularly in Central Asia and parts of North America. These dry conditions may have contributed to the decline of some Native American cultures, such as the ancestral Puebloans in the American Southwest. The complex interplay between climate and human societies during this period continues to be a subject of scientific study and debate. The Little Ice Age, a period of cooling that affected Earth from the 16th to 19th centuries, likely resulted from a combination of factors rather than a single trigger. One significant contributor was a decrease in solar activity, known as the Maunder Minimum, which occurred between 1645 and 1715. During this time, sunspots were rarely observed, indicating reduced solar output and potentially leading to cooler temperatures on Earth. Volcanic activity also played a crucial role in the onset and persistence of the Little Ice Age. Major eruptions, such as the 1591 eruption of Huayna Putina in Peru, injected large amounts of sulfur dioxide into the atmosphere. This created a cooling effect by reflecting sunlight back into space and altering global atmospheric circulation patterns. Changes in ocean circulation may have further amplified the cooling trend. Some scientists propose that fluctuations in the North Atlantic Oscillation and weakening of the Gulf Stream contributed to the temperature decline, particularly in Europe and North America. These oceanic changes could have been influenced by the initial cooling from volcanic activity and reduced solar output. Additionally, feedback loops likely intensified the cooling once it began. For instance, as snow and ice cover increased, more sunlight was reflected away from Earth's surface, leading to further cooling. This self-reinforcing cycle, combined with the other factors, helped maintain the Little Ice Age conditions for several centuries, profoundly impacting human societies and natural ecosystems across the globe. The 4.2 kiloyear event was a severe and prolonged period of drought that affected many regions across the globe around 2,200 years before the Common Era. This climatic upheaval had profound impacts on ancient civilizations, forcing them to adapt or face collapse. In Mesopotamia, the Akkadian Empire struggled to maintain its vast territory as crops failed and water sources dwindled. Archaeological evidence suggests that many people abandoned cities and moved to more fertile areas near rivers. Some settlements developed sophisticated irrigation systems to maximize the use of limited water resources, demonstrating the ingenuity of ancient engineers in the face of environmental challenges. Egypt's Old Kingdom also felt the effects of this drought. The Nile's floods became less reliable, leading to food shortages and social unrest. Egyptian rulers responded by decentralizing power, allowing local governors more autonomy to manage resources. This period saw increased construction of water storage facilities and the development of new agricultural techniques to cope with changing conditions. In the Indus Valley, the drought contributed to the gradual decline of the Harappan civilization. People began to leave major urban centers, dispersing into smaller settlements that were less dependent on large-scale agriculture. Some communities adapted by shifting their focus to pastoralism and trade, showing the resilience and flexibility of ancient societies when confronted with environmental stress. The mysterious 6th century climate event, which caused global cooling and widespread changes, was likely triggered by a series of massive volcanic eruptions. These eruptions, occurring around the year 536, injected enormous amounts of ash and sulfur dioxide into the atmosphere, creating a veil that blocked sunlight and cooled the Earth. Evidence for these eruptions comes from ice core samples in Greenland and Antarctica, which show elevated levels of sulfates during this period. Tree ring data also reveals stunted growth, indicating colder temperatures and less favorable growing conditions. Historical records from various parts of the world describe dim skies, crop failures, and unusually cold weather. The effects of this climate event were far-reaching. It led to crop failures and famines across Europe, Asia, and the Americas. Some researchers suggest it may have contributed to the fall of empires and significant societal changes. The cooling period lasted for several years, with some regions experiencing temperature drops of up to 2 degrees Celsius. While volcanic eruptions are the leading theory, some scientists have also proposed that a comet or asteroid impact could have caused or contributed to this event. However, the current evidence strongly supports the volcanic hypothesis, with the eruptions likely occurring in tropical regions where their effects could spread globally. The 8.2 kiloyear event was a sudden cooling period that occurred approximately 8,200 years ago. This abrupt climate change had significant impacts on Neolithic cultures across the globe, particularly in regions surrounding the North Atlantic. In Europe, the cooling led to wetter and colder conditions, affecting agricultural practices. Many Neolithic farming communities struggled to adapt to the changing climate. Crop yields decreased, forcing some groups to abandon their settlements and migrate to more favorable areas. This population movement likely contributed to the spread of agricultural techniques and cultural practices across the continent. The event also influenced Neolithic cultures in the Middle East. In Mesopotamia, there is evidence of increased aridity, which may have accelerated the development of irrigation techniques and more complex social organizations to manage water resources. Some researchers suggest that this climate stress might have played a role in the emergence of early city-states in the region. In North Africa, the cooling event coincided with a rapid desertification of the Sahara. This dramatic change forced many communities to relocate, possibly contributing to the growth of early Egyptian civilization along the Nile River. The 8.2 kiloyear event serves as a stark reminder of how climate changes can profoundly shape human societies and drive cultural innovations. The end of the Younger Dryas, a period of abrupt cooling that occurred roughly 12,800 years ago, was marked by an equally sudden warming. This rapid temperature increase has long puzzled scientists, but recent research has shed light on potential triggers. One leading theory suggests that changes in ocean circulation played a crucial role. As the massive ice sheets that covered North America began to melt, they released enormous amounts of fresh water into the North Atlantic. This influx of fresh water disrupted the Atlantic meridional overturning circulation, a system of currents that transports warm water from the tropics to the northern latitudes. When this circulation suddenly restarted, it rapidly transported heat to the northern regions, causing temperatures to rise dramatically. Another factor that may have contributed to the warming was an increase in atmospheric carbon dioxide levels. Ice core records show a significant rise in carbon dioxide concentrations, coinciding with the end of the Younger Dryas. This greenhouse gas increase could have amplified the warming effect, creating a positive feedback loop that further accelerated the temperature rise. Some researchers also propose that changes in solar activity might have played a role. Variations in the Earth's orbit and axis tilt could have altered the amount of solar radiation reaching the planet's surface, potentially triggering or amplifying the warming trend. While no single factor can fully explain the rapid warming, it is likely that a combination of these mechanisms worked in concert to bring about the abrupt end of the Younger Dryas and usher in a warmer climate. The Bond events, named after geologist Gerard Bond, were periods of abrupt climate change that occurred roughly every 1,500 years throughout the Holocene epoch. These events had significant impacts on human migrations and settlements across the globe. During Bond events, temperatures in the northern hemisphere dropped considerably, leading to colder and drier conditions in many regions. This climate shift forced human populations to adapt or move to more hospitable areas. In North Africa and the Middle East, for example, the cooling and drying of the climate turned once fertile grasslands into arid deserts, pushing people towards river valleys and coastal areas. These climate fluctuations also affected sea levels and ocean currents, influencing coastal settlements and maritime activities. In some cases, the changing conditions opened up new migration routes, such as land bridges that appeared during periods of lower sea levels. This allowed populations to spread to previously inaccessible areas, including islands and continents. The Bond events likely contributed to the collapse of some early civilizations and the rise of others. As people migrated in response to changing environmental conditions, they brought with them new technologies, cultures, and ideas, leading to significant societal changes and innovations. These climate-driven migrations played a crucial role in shaping human history and the distribution of populations across the Earth. The 5.9 kiloyear event was a significant period of climate change that occurred approximately 5,900 years ago. This event was characterized by a rapid cooling and drying of the Earth's climate, particularly in northern Africa and parts of Asia. The primary cause of this climatic shift was likely a combination of factors, including changes in solar activity and variations in Earth's orbit. These astronomical influences led to alterations in atmospheric circulation patterns and ocean currents, resulting in reduced rainfall across vast regions. The impact of this event on human societies was profound and far-reaching. In northern Africa, the previously lush and habitable Sahara region began its transformation into the arid desert we know today. This dramatic change forced many communities to abandon their settlements and migrate to more hospitable areas, particularly along the Nile River Valley. The 5.9 kiloyear event also contributed to the rise of complex civilizations in Egypt and Mesopotamia. As people concentrated in areas with reliable water sources, they developed new agricultural techniques and social structures to cope with the changing environment. This period of adaptation ultimately laid the groundwork for the emergence of some of the world's earliest urban centers and organized states. The Holocene climatic optimum, a period of warmer temperatures that occurred roughly 8,000 to 5,000 years ago, had a profound impact on ancient cultures across the globe. This climatic shift brought about significant changes in rainfall patterns and vegetation, prompting human societies to adapt their ways of life. In North Africa, the warmer and wetter conditions transformed the Sahara into a lush savanna. Ancient peoples in this region took advantage of the newly hospitable environment, developing pastoral societies and creating rock art that depicted abundant wildlife. As the climate gradually dried, these groups were forced to migrate towards the Nile Valley and other water sources, contributing to the rise of ancient Egyptian civilization. Meanwhile, in Mesopotamia, the changing climate led to the expansion of agriculture and the growth of early city-states. The increased rainfall and higher temperatures allowed for more productive farming, supporting larger populations and more complex social structures. This period saw the development of irrigation systems and new agricultural techniques, laying the groundwork for the great civilizations of Sumer and Akkad. In northern Europe, rising sea levels caused by melting ice sheets reshaped coastlines and created new opportunities for maritime cultures. Ancient peoples adapted by developing more advanced fishing techniques and boat-building skills. The warmer climate also allowed for the spread of agriculture into previously inhospitable regions, leading to significant changes in diet and settlement patterns across the continent.